Good evening, Kaiju family. Today is the day the crew Monsters of Attitudes here with you today to discuss the beginning of the year festivities of the Figure of the Year conversation. Of course, before we get started, I gotta introduce everybody. Of course, the man to my virtual right, the bearded man himself, Eric Stope. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing great, buddy. Yeah, I cannot wait. We wait all year for this because we want to know who is the best of the best. And yeah, I just cannot wait till we talk about this and show everybody what's in store, what the categories are, and who is going to be in those particular categories. So yeah, let's freaking go.
And of course, the man whose last name is West but lives on the East Coast, Samson. How you doing tonight, Samson?
Doing well. Excited to get into all the nitty grittiness of what figures are the best, the not the best, and somewhere in between of 2023.
Of course, the crazy man who's married to these gigantics here, Joe Myers. How you doing, Joe?
I'm good, guys. Pardon, I'm going to say it right up front. I'm obviously sick, so bear with me. I'm going to be coming in and out, blowing my nose, sneezing, coughing, all that fun stuff. But I am very actually excited. I couldn't miss it because, COVID's going to come through the interwebs at you, Samson. I'm excited, though. I didn't miss this because this is going to be my first time with the Figure of the Year officially with Monsters with Attitude. So I'm really looking forward to it and excited to see what everybody says and what everybody thinks and to get into some lively debates because you guys know me. I love to argue.
Mm-hmm. Too bad Michael's not here.
Right.
Of course, the man furthest up north, our Alaskan assassin, Aaron. How you doing today, Aaron?
Alaskan assassin.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited because there have been so many great releases this year. I honestly, most years, I feel like there's a pretty good idea of what's going to win. But this year, I don't know what to expect. So we'll see what happens then.
Yes.
And of course, our special guest today, Mr. Oscar. Oscar, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing great, you guys. First and foremost, what's up, my Monster vs. Maniacs? Of course, I got my first Godzilla here. I got my Team Godzilla shirt here. I'm looking forward to this. Again, thanks you guys for having me on here. And like Joe, it's gonna be my first time, helping out with the categories here, and I'm looking forward to it. And can't wait to debate, argue, this and that, whatnot. Wait to get into the nitty-gritty stuff.
And of course, before we get started, Eric, you want to run through the chat real quick?
Absolutely. We got a crazy fan here who was here several hours before. Fanciest of Cats. Thank you for being a supporter, buddy. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So yeah. And then we also have Nathaniel Plummer. I mean, thank you. I mean, that's
Go on.
Thank you, Nathaniel.
Thank you.
No, really, Nathan. Go on. Tell me more.
And all that stuff.
It's just the facial hair. Underneath this, it's the.
Thank you for being here. Of course, Monsters with Attitudes.
That gives me an idea of what Nathan said. Maybe we should make a calendar with all of our chest hair out and striking a pose.
Oh boy.
White or beards.
The men of Monsters with Attitude.
With the beards, my friend.
Get us all
I mean,
oiled
Cam
up.
made a calendar, so.
Michael, of course, Michael
Hey,
cannot be here because he is under the weather.
Because he's a little baby.
A lot of people right now, so it is what it is. Fancies of Cats again. Tim Bardos, thank you for showing up. Let's see who else. Stupid Sandwich. What is going on?
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, love the name. And yes,
Hey, they are
not wait.
Cool, man.
So yeah, thank you guys for everybody being here. Like I said, there's a couple people missing. People are sick and everything. It's just that time of year. People are busy moving and stuff like that. So, but yeah,
Some
they're all here in
people-
spirit and different stuff. So
Some people don't call in when they're sick.
Ah,
Ooh.
Unlike the babies.
All the duty.
Attitude. I mean,
right here, I'm not calling in.
I thought that being a member of this group meant we were a little edgy and could tough through a little cough and a little sneezing. But apparently, that's just me, not Michael. So.
Let him have it while he's in and out of consciousness.
Oh,
you
I
know?
will. I'm gonna make subtle digs all night.
Oh my goodness. So of course y'all know today
Alex, going
today
on?
is what's up, Alex? So of course
Yeah.
today y'all know this is gonna be the pre-show. We're gonna tell y'all the categories we're gonna have this year, who the contenders are in that category. And of course on January 27th, if I'm not mistaken, I gotta double check the date, is when we'll discuss who actually won that category. But I guess Eric is going to get started. What's our first category?
And before we begin here, like you said, the 27th of January will be the results show and everything for us. So please stay tuned for that. And a reminder, voting starts tomorrow, 12 Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Time. And is exclusively for the Monsters with Attitude Collectors Group. So go join, excuse me. Join the group and everything, that answer the questions. You know, it's a private group because we want to make sure that you are legit. You're not a bot. You're not, troll or nothing like that. Answer the questions you are in, and you can vote for all the categories that we talk about tonight and everything like that. And make your choices be heard, man. It all matters. Like that one vote can tip the scales, for your favorite or not. So definitely do that. So.
Embrace the attitude, damn it.
All righty. Shall we get this show started?
Yahoo!
Let's go.
It's kind of weird, but all right. First off, the floor is yours. You know whose this is. Take it away.
Well, that's pretty much me. All right, people, figures under 50, best under $50. So pretty much what we got here is the Playmates Titan Tech Rodan, which, pretty chaos figure because we already have the Titan Tech Kong and Godzilla, but when Rodan came in, where now number 2 is, well, I put in numbers. So second is Playmates GVK Hollow Earth playset. Now the reason why I see a lot of people getting this, and also it's pretty cool because I feel like this playset right here is unique because, and y'all know in the art book and originally they were gonna have the final battle of Godzilla and Kong in the Hollow Earth, but of course they scrapped it. But I like how we get this playset, which is pretty damn cool, and it really stands out. All right, the number 3 is the Playmates Ferocious Kong, or the 2017 Kong, and I like how we've had the 2017 Kong for Playmates, but it was just regular, just arm swivels, this and that. But I like how this one we got the chain, the propeller chain. We have more articulation, and the face sculpt is a little bit not more pleasing than the other one. And the next one is number 4 is Haya Toys 2019 Burning Godzilla. I mean, come on, it's Burning Godzilla 2019. It really stands out, the orange, the red, the flames, all that stuff, It's really cool and it really stands out. And number 5, also Haya Toys GVK Godzilla Heat Ray. Not 2019, it's the Heat Ray. I mean, it's GVK. Even though, yes, it has that pose where, you change the necks and it goes up in the air like in 2019, but still, it's still the GVK Godzilla Heat Ray. But either or, it's fine. All right, then after that, number 6 is Super 7 Reaction half transformed Mecha Godzilla. The reason why I was picking this one because I've seen people liking this, and also we barely have any of halfway transformed Godzilla to fake Godzilla to Mecha Godzilla. Like the only other ones we have is of course the 50th Memorial Box fake Godzilla with just the little space titanium showing, and of course the Bandai premium sets of Mecha Godzilla and the fake Godzilla, which is pretty cool, But with Super 7's reaction, it's cool and it really stands out. And I know for sure, I'm sure Eric, you would for sure agree. X Plus needs to do, if they were to do another for Mecha Godzilla, they have to do it like that. I mean, come on.
Absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
We
Absolutely.
need a fake one first. That ridiculous looking suit. Come on, that'd be so cool.
Or in gigantic form, something like that. I just love it. And then of course, number 7 I have is Super 7 Toad's Reaction Godzilla 84. Now it's Godzilla 84. I mean, Adrian. I mean, I know you love 84, and I see a lot of reviews and pictures of people also getting the Godzilla 84. I mean, like it's Godzilla 84. I mean, we barely have any figures of 84 Godzilla, but now we're really getting a whole lot more.
Yeah, for sure. And I have this one. This one is phenomenal. It
And
really is.
Still debating on getting it myself because I just want it for the packaging. I'm like, dude, like I don't know.
I know the packaging alone on these reaction figures are just phenomenal. I love them.
Exactly. Like
The artwork is really cool.
It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
collector friendly.
And I can't wait to see
Right.
later on. Like, who knows? We get a Shin Godzilla one, we get Monsterverse, we get -1, we get GMK, all that other stuff. But more, like, give us more of the Showa monsters first, then go on with the Heisei, Millennium, Monsterverse, Reiwa, you know, and so forth. All right, and then after that, number 8, I got the Super 7 reaction Godzilla skeleton. I mean, the Godzilla skeleton also, it comes with the oxygen and destroyer. It's very unique, very different. Like, we have, you know, skeleton Godzillas. Like, we have some bootlegs of the skeleton Godzilla. We have the Super 7, you know, the 7-inch tall burning Godzilla, which, you know, is meltdown Godzilla, where he's halfway melted, and we see, you know, like a piece of his skull. And we also, let's see, I think it's just that one and this right here that I know of, that we only have like a skeleton, you know. Oh, and of course we have a model kit as well, but I mean, like, X plus, come on, give us like a favorite sculpt design of a skeleton Godzilla, you know, or a rig option or something like that, you know. Really stands out. And of course the packaging, again, you see it and it's like a little like set where, like, this is Godzilla's skeleton right there, and of course he's at the bottom of the trench, at the bottom of the ocean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's already buried in the sand with the oxygen destroyer sitting next to him.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
That's really tight. Got to give a shout out to Adam Griffin. He does a great review of this guy on his channel, Thirsty Thursday Toys.
yeah, I see.
Who is in the chat right now?
Yep.
What's going on, Adam?
Great
Hey,
segue,
what's up?
Samson.
I just love it. I'm like stuff like this, like, it's really speaking to me. Like, I'm like, again, Godzilla 84, I'm really wanting to go for it. And then this skeleton Godzilla, I'm like, damn, like it's really getting to me now. Like, I need to have it just to have it for packaging alone. Like, it's like crap. Like, I got
Any
it.
figure with an oxygen destroyer, yeah.
Oh yeah. And you know what the cool thing is? When I look at the oxygen destroyer, I feel like that's like a good size for, like, we can use it as, you know, like for this, like a display for the for the gigantic 54 Godzilla. You know, like, I just barely thought about this right now. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Next one is number 9, the Super 7 reaction Shogun Rodan. Now the Shogun Rodan, you know, we've had the, you know, the Shogun, you know, Godzillas and Rodans before, but I mean, like, I like how Super 7 is bringing that back to us. You know, I just really like it. Stands out. It's something that I would not get, but just for, like, say, you know, like, you know, the other people, you know, like my parents or anyone else's parents, or, you know, some of you guys, you know, that are a little bit older than me, like, you guys grew up with this. I grew up after that.
Yeah.
Toys R Us, you know, the original one, but like, it's just pretty cool and unique, and I like how they're bringing it back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely a lot of older fans are really happy about that release for sure.
Yeah, and I actually grabbed this particular one because, like you said, like, this was before my time. I don't have that one, and it's extremely rare to get it, and it's expensive. So, like, this is the next best thing. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna get a piece of kind of history basically for Godzilla collecting and stuff like that. So I was like, yep, I'm gonna get that, and it's small, compact, it's great.
Yeah, and
Actually, that's what I was about to say. Is it full size or is it tiny?
it's a bit smaller, I think.
It's like the reaction figures.
Right.
Quite a
Okay.
bit smaller. Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
And isn't there? And also, like, I don't know if I could be wrong, but isn't there like a Shogun King
Yep.
Ghidorah, or is it just
Yes,
like,
I think so.
Yeah, it's the one with the rubber body, right?
yeah?
And,
Because I'm like,
someone posted about it recently, I think.
yeah, because I mean, like, it won't be long till we probably get that as well. I mean, like,
Yeah. Mhm.
you know, like what Dave Bautista said, like, give it to me what I want. All right, the number 10 is the Haya Toys 2019 Mothra. So, you know, Mothra. I mean, like, you know, we've had Monstars, we have NECA, but I mean, like, with the Haya Toys Mothra, I don't have her yet in the collection, but like, seeing the reviews and pictures, I mean, like, wow, they really knocked it out of the park with this one. And then barely, you know, the other day, you know, we have like I guess translucent or bioluminescent of another Mothra, and it's pretty cool. And with this one, again, like, the wings, like, I have not seen people having their wings broken off or like they droop down or whatever. Like, it really holds on to it, you know. It's pretty cool and unique. So that's, again, pretty much everything that I have right there.
Haya's essentially taken over for NECA now. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they
Oh, for
are
sure.
because NECA has stopped, and now I mean we're getting these really the sculpts are great, the price is great. It's all around great for all of us out there.
And you know what? Since with Haya right here, like, and of course we'll eventually get 91 Godzilla. I feel like if Haya Toys just keeps going on with this, I'm sorry, but I feel like, as much as I love the SH Monster Arts line and all that, I feel like might probably have to let them go. But I'll probably buy a few just to keep, like just the Heisei Godzillas and some other figures as well. I mean, but I still gotta show some love to Monster Arts though, even though pretty much Haya Toys is taking over.
Well, I mean, it's hard to compete with that. I mean, their prices are half the price of Monster Arts, and the sculpts are just as good.
And they're
just as good.
Yeah, I mean,
they're a lot more sturdy too.
If not more accurate. I mean, it's crazy what they're doing.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. I don't know if you guys, like y'all have any picks on what y'all are wanting to see who's gonna win or whatnot. I don't know, that's.
Well, I know personally, personally, I want the 2019 Burning Godzilla to win. I pre-ordered that. I haven't been able to get it yet, but I do want to pick that up. To me, that's in my opinion, that's the best thing on this list for sure.
Well, actually, Asia, right now the Burning Godzilla, the Haya Toys Burning Godzilla is right now in stock in Big Bad Toy Store. I mean, of course, y'all know because I had to get another one since a little pup of mine, she got into it. And,
Yep.
I
hate to see it.
Yeah. Well. Whoever else.
Who else? What are your guys' picks on this category? Samson.
Well, Adrian just went, so I guess you should go next since you're right below him.
Mine's a toss-up, honestly. I kind of want to go with the Titan Tech Rodan, honestly, just because, like, having that Kong and Godzilla come out, I think the previous year, like, honestly, right away, I know we've talked about it before, like, immediately that just screamed Trendmasters all over again, and I just really want them to keep coming out with this stuff and everything like that, because it just hits those memories and stuff like that for me. I picked this up. I picked up the Godzilla. I picked up the Kong. And, I'm saving them and everything like that. But that's just, to me, I'm just going with that. I don't really do a lot of articulated figures anymore. So the Hayas are kind of out for me. I do have to pick up that Super 7 skeleton Godzilla because that looks really, really cool. And then the reaction figures, I only grabbed the glow in the dark. So that's my bread and butter is the glow in the darks. Otherwise, I would have definitely grabbed these two and stuff. So I'm hoping these come out glow in the darks, hopefully in this coming year. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Titan Tech Rodan.
I'm going to it's a toss-up for me as well because that Burning Godzilla is ridiculously cool looking, but coming from a big Showa fan like I am, the skeleton Godzilla with the little oxygen destroyer, that's too tight and cool, and I really dig it. And even the box artwork itself looks great. Just the setting of him being at the bottom of the ocean, sunken into the sand. That it's just the packaging looks cool, and it's a mirror box, so it's really you can actually just see the figure in the box. It doesn't have artwork. It's just it's inlaid in the thing itself. I really dig that.
Who are you, Joe?
I think the skeleton Godzilla for me. But I agree with what you were saying, Eric, about the Titan Tech Rodan and the memories of Trendmasters.
Aaron?
Shoot, I think so. Originally, I was gonna say the Burning Haya, but I think I gotta go with the Rodan too, just because you mentioned it's such a because specifically for this category, best under 50. To me, you can't get any better as like a toy for kids than something like the Rodan. You're right. It is like those Trendmasters. It's like you go into the store aisles. I've actually seen kids be super excited for toys like this.
Yeah.
So as much as my personal bias would go towards any Haya figure, I got to go with the Rodan, I think.
Yeah. As for me, of course, I would go for the Burning Godzilla, but I mean the Titan Tech Rodan, it shouts, it brings up Trendmasters, and you know what? they have Kong, they have Godzilla, now Rodan. They keep this up. We'll get a Titan Tech, somewhat Mega King Ghidorah, or a Titan.
Right.
I love that, man.
Titan Tech Behemoth. Like, come on, Playmates, like, give us more of that.
Yeah.
And if they got, to be honest, I'm surprised they didn't do this already. But if they got their hands on Gamera Rebirth, that whole line of kaiju would be great.
Oh, that'd be
wicked.
I'd love that.
Yeah. So pretty much, I'm toss up with Hayato's Burning Godzilla and Tiny Tech Rodan. Just those two. Those are my go-tos. Yes, I would automatically go for Hayato's Burning Godzilla, but I mean the Rodan. I mean, like, the nostalgia trying to survive. So those would be my picks. For being tired or something like that.
You got to think of the accessibility too, because it actually just being in retail stores for kids to just see and buy compared to having to go online and order stuff.
Yeah.
I guess I can see that for sure as well, making it a good contender.
Yeah.
To top the others.
Oh yeah.
True.
Yep.
All right, what's next, Eric?
Alrighty, on to our next one. Thank you, Oscar.
No, thank you. Oh, man.
All right.
The floor is yours.
Bandai had a phenomenal year this year with so many releases of monsters we have never seen before, and some that we have, but in a different pose or whatnot. We have, I mean, they had to have put out more figures than anybody else, I believe. I mean, so if we go in order, we have the Standing Baragon. Last time we saw this guy was, when was the standard version produced? The 80s? 83? Is that when it came out?
Possibly.
Around the 80s.
So to have a Standing Baragon, or just a show of Baragon in general, in a 6-inch scale, and it's more affordable, that's tight for fans, especially Showa fans.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next one on the list. This is nostalgic for a lot of folks out there that grew up with the video game Super Godzilla on the Super Nintendo, and he has been a fan favorite for many years. He was a scrap project for several films, I think, or 2 films. But Baggin, he has been widely known since, again, the Nintendo game. And what else was he in? Was he in some other continuity other than that? Y'all have to refresh my memory because
that puppet show that you guys mentioned, I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah,
Gojiban.
Gojiban. Yeah, that reinvigorated a lot of fans' love for that thing, to be able to see it in a new light, since it never actually got a movie release. So, me personally, I didn't grow up with the game or the love for this thing. I knew of it, but I didn't know, I didn't have a strong hold on it like others did. But that's cool for fans that have always really loved this non-existing kaiju that should have happened but didn't happen, and now it's gonna happen. Maybe.
Well, and also too quickly, he was also in a computer game, I guess you could call it.
Yeah. What do you call it? Spooky
Godzilla Studio.
Yeah, it's Godzilla Studios. Yes, I mentioned that on my live stream a few months, few months back. Like I did mention that, like, it was a Toho Studios tour or something like that. It just had still pictures of that of that specific bag and design.
Yep, exactly. So
was he part of the creepypasta as well, like that people made out of the game from back in the day?
No, but I feel like they should have had him in the creepypasta of the Godzilla NES game. Because, I mean, we had that red feature creepypasta. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't put Baggin in there.
Right.
And since we had the hype of the Gamera Rebirth TV series, you got to give it to the actual Gamera figure itself. That is just a cool design. It's a cool kaiju in general, and the paint job is phenomenal for that figure. And just to give a whole new love to kaiju fans in general out there, to get a new Bandai Gamera in a whole new light. I mean, even me personally, as somebody that didn't really grow up or have a fond love for Gamera, I think it's a really cool looking Gamera toy. Next to him was came out of nowhere figure release, because we got 74, we got 75, and there's that puppy dog face looking motherfucker. We got 73 finally, and what a cool one. I got out of this whole list, he's the only one that I actually have. I know, I'm ashamed too.
Wow.
And it's don't worry, I got some coming, but it's so good looking. I mean, it captures it perfectly, and it actually stands out differently from the other two sculpts, 74 and 75. And it's a fun little doofy looking Godzilla that a lot of 70s fans know and love. Next to him, we got the maquette. This was one that, again, I never saw something like this coming, but to have something that was only a sculpt, and a lot of people know what that figure or that sculpt is, and they love the way that design looks, and it got bought up fast. It got bought fast, and then people raised the price of it, so it was a popular buy. And as of recently, it is now available for cheaper than what other people are posting it for online. So if you have a chance, go and get it. It's at retail price again, or well, the initial price, like about half of what folks are selling it for now. And next to him, we got the standing landing stage Hedra. Even though it's not his anniversary anymore, we're still getting more of that big smoggy SOB. We have him, and I guess I'll go ahead and talk about the other one on the row down from him, the crawling form. To get two more forms of Hedra, it's just, I mean, there's different ones, and people that love that movie can attest to it's great to have every single form of that figure. Come on, who doesn't love that? So combining two of those together, just to talk about them real quick. Next to that, we got Rose Biollante. When is the last time we saw any Rose Biollante figure?
There was like an X
high grade. I mean, yeah. Oh, the Rick. You're right. The Rick of the X plus the 30 centimeter 89.
Yeah,
that's like all we really got, or the little high grade figure sets and stuff like that.
And isn't there's not, is there even a model kit of the Rose Biollante? Because I don't think I've seen pictures or reviews of
I swear there was like a Monster Rage one or something like that.
Yeah,
super low number. Yeah,
there's a few, but they are few and far in between.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you go on Kaiju Kits and you can definitely find it for sure. But I think just before this, YMSF produced their 6-inch version of this. But other than that, nothing like wide and far, because YMSF, you have to go onto his Instagram and order straight from him in order to get his stuff these days. But with this being a widespread release, you can get it on most dealers' websites. And let's just go directly underneath him. So since the rebirth happened, we got to add the main villain that everybody knows and loves from the Gamera franchise, Gauss. And these were the first two that came out together, actually, because we had Gamera and Gauss come out. They came out right next to each other, and then we didn't see the other kaiju from that series until later on. So just to have those two next to each other, like at the same time when they came out, pretty gnarly. Those that like that kind of thing. Next to him, we got Mothra 92. Last time we saw her was in 1992 with the Bandai standard size with the big ABS wings. This gives people in this new fandom a chance to get something for cheaper, because trying to find that thing in the box, even without the box, very expensive. Very, very, very expensive. And the paint job's great.
Yeah, it's just the underbelly. I can't, like, come on.
I
Man.
know.
Mothra, I mean, like, come on.
They did. That kind of leaves it at the bottom of the list, to be honest. I'm not going in any particular order, by the way. I'm just going in the order of what is on screen. That underbelly is pretty bad. It's just blank.
Yeah.
For them not to mirror image the actual top of the wings, that's rough.
Yeah, because I feel like Bandai Mothra is like the Tokyo SOS, the 8-inch one. That one's a perfect one because everything's fully painted. And the good old Bandai Creation Rainbow Mothra. Those two, I feel like just Bandai alone, great paint everything, But with this, I mean, come on, it's the Heisei Mothra. I'm sure a lot of people like the Heisei Mothra, but like, come on, they really got to stop cutting these damn corners.
They really did. It was unfortunate, but for a cheap Mothra, still pretty cool sculpt and paint job, other than what we just mentioned.
Yeah.
And right in the dead center, one that I am fairly excited about, because this was a long time coming, the 55 Anguirus. Other than X Plus, we have not seen anything. I mean, the only other thing they have is from the 50th anniversary memorial box, but that's just the 68 Anguirus painted gray.
Yeah.
Not the same thing at all.
Yeah.
So
I think
give fans something like that, holy shit.
like what the tail, like it's not half-ass painted. It's just it's just gray. That's it. I don't mind it, but like, if it was half-ass, I would just get bugged out about it. But I love how again we have a 55 Anguirus from Bandai, and like man, like fine, and it really stands out because I have the Bandai Anguirus, the 68 one version, but the 55 it just really stands out.
Yeah.
No, the sculpt is great. It doesn't look cheap. It looks really good. And also, it's not on the list because it was just a reissue to get the 55 Godzilla to pair with it as well. Since the last time we saw him was with the 50th Memorial box, which is any Godzilla from that set is expensive.
Yes, absolutely.
And to give fans another chance, I mean, we are living in a great time for Bandai figures, especially collectors that can afford stuff like that. So it's really awesome. And again, all right, I already talked about the crawling Hedra paired with the standing. We get Hedra, booyah, I guess, for those that like that kind of thing.
Ooh.
Going all the way.
I'm throwing slug, Samson. Jesus.
All the way to the left, we have the King Crab himself. We have Ebirah now in the Bandai form. Not a lot of show of love for Ebirah other than X Plus and some model kits. And maybe some high grade stuff. I will say it is a little cheap looking for sure, especially with the paint application on this guy. He does look kind of not. They could have done a little better on him, but overall, it is a really badass looking little thing for a Showa Ebirah. Now, y'all are going to have to help me out with directly below him because I have absolutely no knowledge other than I don't know it. So below that,
I'll take this one.
The Gara.
Oh, go ahead.
So this is the premium Bandai Degarla, and it is my vote for Bandai of the Year. I actually have this. It's,
Same.
Oh, you got it, Adrian?
No, but I agree. It's my pick as well.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. You threw me off there.
No, he really did it with you.
So this is really cool. Just like the other premiums, it comes in a box and it has accessories. So you can actually change it to be in flight mode, land mode, water mode. It has wing attachment. It also comes with the little Go-Go figure or Gorgo figure, which is actually right here, surprisingly.
Oh, those are the same figure? You can
those are the same figure. Yep. It comes with different wings and heads and stuff. You can just pop on and off. And it's honestly, like, I did a review on it on my channel. I love it. It's to me, it's X plus quality. And I'm really happy with it. So, and I think it's the Bandai figure of the year, even though I am one of those ones that were very excited for Baggin. So,
Amen.
Oh yeah, dude. Damn.
Baggin's number 2 for sure, hands down. But if Degarla wasn't, I don't think Degarla is going to win because I don't think enough people bought it. Because of the price tag, it's around $200 once you include like shipping and whatever. But it comes in a nice big ass box. It's like the size of a 25 centimeter X Plus. Like, it's a decent. Wow. It's essentially like an X Plus by Bandai. So, thank you, Nathaniel. Thank you. So yeah, and the accessories, the interchangeable wings and attachment, claws and heads and shit like that. I think it's awesome. I think it's worth every penny.
The reason, yes, I included it for sure because some folks in this chat included, they told me I had to add it because they were hyped about it to see something like this come out, and was it the only Bandai premium figure that came out this past year? Was it the only release premium?
No, they did.
What else did they?
This year, yes.
Yeah, this year, yes.
Yeah, this year, yes.
This year, yes.
They only produced one
74 is coming out now, right?
Yeah,
74 is coming out now.
I think it's starting to hit people's invoices, I think. Well, awesome. Well, thank you for taking over for that because again, I don't know what movie it comes from and I don't know what accessories.
Oh, I'm sorry. The movie, it's Rebirth of Mothra 2.
2. Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
Roberto Mothra too. I'm sorry, I should have said that.
Or has a kick-ass theme song. Actually, I don't know, like something. I don't know. I just like to mention that because I growing up and it just really stood out to me.
Yep.
All right. Well, again, thank you. And moving on to the right, I had to kind of combine these into. I say one release, even though it's 2 separate figures. It's the same sculpt, but and they each have their own great qualities about them. The standard -1 figure with the standard, I mean, the -1 final form, whatever I don't know, B final form, whatever he's supposed to be called. But with the standard, you have the incredible paint application, including several different spots on his shoulder, middle chest, and his left cheekbone has a little bit of color discoloration for the scars that he acquired throughout the film, which I think is a nice touch to add to that. And then for the fans that love this kind of thing, the translucent, glittery blue theater exclusive, which is really gnarly.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah, that's you have it in person, Eric, right?
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely.
I still need to get one.
Joe, oh man, I already got mine. Come on, Joe.
I'm trying to get a rise out of Eric. Nobody can see Eric's face. but
It's not. No, that's not happening.
Eric actually got me it for my birthday.
Yes.
Duh.
So I was just giving him a hard time.
Oh, man.
And then finally, the last on the list is the Odo Island version of Godzilla. Godzillasaurus, Odo Island Godzilla, whatever you'd like to call him,
Yeah.
which was the spoiler alert figure for last year, which one fucking dealer in particular made that.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Oh, well, I mean,
You said not speak his name. We won't give him no credit.
Yeah.
yeah.
And everybody should boycott him.
I agree.
It's a fairly simplistic figure. The paint application it's not terrible, but it's kind of a little bare. But to have an iteration of that specific version from the film, it's really cool. So Bandai, there's several more that got produced, but these are the ones that stood out, especially to me, as being either brand new sculpts or sculpts that people were hyped about on YouTube and Facebook.
Oh yeah.
And like honestly, like Bandai has been going crazy this year with these things, like absolutely nuts.
Like they're really stepping up after like the year before. You know, that's what I feel like. You know, because again, like with Bagan, Gara, and Gears 55, the Godzilla 54 maquette, and Biollante, and of course, you know, like those alone, like really stood out. And again, like what some of you guys have already said, you know, if I were to say which is number one, who I would say would win, I'm stuck with 2. For sure, Bag for my number 1 pick, but the Godzilla 54 kit, like model, I mean, like it's different, it's unique, so I would just go for one of those 2.
And honestly, like there's stuff on here that didn't even make it on here that was released this year. So like, this is just like more of the popular ones. Like there's still a bunch that came out that didn't even make the list. So like, think of that. Like, I mean, they did a whole bunch of reissues and stuff like that, which, you know, we were steering away from this year and everything. We were trying to do new releases and everything new.
No, that makes sense. I'm glad you brought that up and did that.
So if you guys think, you know, if you think of like the G75 or Titanosaurus or anything like that, you know, those are reissues. Like they've already been issued. They're the same sculpts, they're just different paintways. So we're not doing that. We're giving the spotlight to new sculpts, new figures, new monsters that are getting their first releases and everything like that. But yeah, like there was just a ton on here that was just absolutely crazy. But yeah, my 2 honestly are probably gonna be Bagan or the -1 blue, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's crazy how many like y'all said, it's been crazy how many Bandai we have gotten this year. Narrowing down to 15 was a very fun task for Samson.
Yeah, it was hard for me to decide which ones to leave out. And luckily, when y'all told me about the reissue thing, that did help because we did get some reissues. But it really was trying to narrow down the best, like I even tried to do it to 10, but I was like, no, it's 50, there's so many that are good that I can't leave out. So let's keep going. Let's go past 10, 15 at least.
You know what?
20 too much, not 20.
I said that you didn't put good old Minya in there.
Get Minya.
Did he? I mean, did anybody buy that?
You don't want that.
And
You know,
about
as a
that
Mania
good.
fan, I forgot he was even released.
I mean, I didn't
I was
even
not
see.
missing him. So.
I didn't even see him for sale anywhere. So I'm like, oh, maybe they scrapped it. Well,
You know what the funny thing is? Actually, we all give crap and shit to Minya, and yet I bet all of a sudden, you know, this year, who knows? We get little Godzilla, we get baby Godzilla, and then another.
ooh.
You know, who knows?
But now, mind you, those are all reissues then.
Oh, well, true. Unless they do.
So,
Not in the 6-inch scale. We
no,
haven't.
well,
I mean,
that's true. Well, except for
because Mania was done in the standard scale too. He was done like the
Uh-huh.
8-inch style, but he didn't have that sculpt. Like the new one, it is. Oh, we need a Gabra.
Oh,
Where's Gabra? Where's ours? I mean, YMSF has been producing a 6-inch one for years. Where's our Gabra now? Because
yeah.
we finally knocked out Ebira. We need Kumunga, Kamacuras, Gabra.
Kamacuras has already come out. Kamacuras has been out already.
Bandai or YMSF?
Well, not the way that he's supposed to look with the red skin and
Because he's green.
Oh my god.
yes, precisely. The continuity is stupid.
Oh.
Well, Adrian, you were talking. Which ones are? What did you say? Either.
Go ahead.
Adrian, I think Adrian, what were your picks to think like who could win or who?
I said Degala or Baggin.
Okay.
Gonna be between those two for sure.
Aaron, what are yours?
So I was thinking about this, and I don't know. It is. I don't know for sure. Maybe so. The only one I really want from this, I mean, they're all great, but the only one I really want, because I'm not really a Bandai collector anymore, so I think if I do get one, the only one I'd go out of my way to order is the blue -1.
Okay.
Really
Pretty
But
nice.
when I found out that the Garla I thought it was two figures like the -1 next to it. But the fact that it's one figure like that, that's pretty wild. I mean, it makes me want to vote for it, even though I'm still biased towards the blue -1. I don't know. We'll see.
Something that was heartbreaking I saw online. Somebody posted a picture of theirs, and now, Joe, did you say the wings are interchangeable, or they are able to they're on a pivot and they can come out? How exactly do they work?
Yeah. There's like a land form and swimming / flying form. So like there's like pegs, and you just slide it up and put them on.
I saw somebody, they like hyperextended it or something and broke the peg of one of their wings. I can't remember who it was, but somebody
Those pegs are not small. Like if I don't know how, like you would have had to have like forced that sumbitch. Like it's not like a peg for a Monster Arts where there's 300 points of articulation and there's a ball joint every half inch on the figure and everything's falling apart. Like it's a sturdy figure. Which is why actually I'll comment on it now. Adam said that he wouldn't count Degarla because it's separate. It's nowhere near the Monster Arts. It's not. It still only has 10 or less points of articulation type thing. It's just like a giant Bandai. It's not. There's not 100 points of articulation or whatever.
It's like the Grand
Monster Arts. That's why I didn't have any of that in this category. Bandai strictly sticks to stuff like this, like Movie Monster Series or Standard Size or Bandai Premium. Those I feel like could be one category. Monster Arts belongs with articulated or its own category in general.
Would you say it's more like the early X Plus? Do you remember those ones where it's like they had some
Like
articulation but not really?
I would say for sure, like the older X Plus, like the older Legion, Mother Legion. You know, the guard would for sure fit in that category for sure. You know.
Yes,
Okay.
like the old X Plus Mother Legion. Yes, that's
Yeah.
similar to what
Yeah.
DeCarla is.
And I mean, and honestly, if it didn't make it in this category, it would stand no chance in the other one that it could have been in.
No,
So,
I know.
Oh,
This-
for
this-
sure.
this-
No. Yeah.
This gave it a fighting chance. So
What other
Yeah.
category could it have been in?
it probably would have been under the
Is it the
Aaron's-
40C? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way it would.
It would have been under the what?
The 40 CM high-end collectibles.
Yeah,
High-end
screen
collectibles.
40 CM or
accurate,
lower, yeah.
Oh.
screen accurate, 40 centimeters and below. We'll get to it.
We'll
but
get to it.
It would have.
You'll
It would have
see
never. Yeah, it would have never stood a chance to what
No.
is on that category. So
So for me, wait, Joe. So we pretty much you're definitive on Dagara or Dagarla?
If more people had DeGarla, there would be no competition. None of these would win. It would be DeGarla, but not enough people bought it, so therefore it will probably go to Baggin, which I'm okay with, or the Maquette.
Yeah.
But if everybody had bought DeGarla, I promise you, there's nothing here on here that would have that could beat it.
I can totally see that. This is coming from some. Again, I had to have your help because I didn't know much about it.
It's okay.
Knowing
Man.
the accessories, the articulation, the sculpt, it looks really cool for sure. But for me, I'm going to give it to. I mean, I have to be realistic and thinking about popularity wise. It has to be the Maquette because of the hype of it. Got launched and they got even higher once the people started selling it for a ton of money. And now that it's come back to a cheaper price, it's popular once more. And the other one, I'm going to have to give it to the theater exclusive -1. I know I didn't grow up with bagging as something that I knew anything about. Otherwise, I would have thought it was really cool. But I don't have a love for it since I don't really have any know-how about it. I didn't play the Super Nintendo game. And
Well, that's not even the bagging from Super Nintendo. That's the
not.
bagging from the rejected movies, Mothra vs. Baggin and Godzilla vs. Baggin scripts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, they took the basic concept of him from the game and they turned him into an actual, like a more detailed kaiju, and he's just been sitting on the back burners for years, and now we're finally getting something of a detailed sculpt. And I think that what launched the popularity again was Gojiban for him for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Maquette and glittery, glowy, blue Godzilla -1.
There was also a concept for Baggin in The Return of Godzilla, 84, where he was going to be a totem-like monster, where he was actually made up of 3 different monsters. Almost like if you guys have ever seen Yu-Gi-Oh, he's very similar to Gate Guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where there's like a mouth with legs, there's a mouth for the body, and then there was like a mouth, like head, actual, like with arms. And then there was the brown version of Baggin in Super Godzilla, and then there's this version that we got the Bandai of, and like I said, Mothra vs. Baggin and Godzilla vs. Baggin. So.
Oh yeah, the one you mentioned, Joe, the older one. Yeah, it was pretty much in 3 forms. It was flying, swimming, and land form.
Yeah.
And that idea, I'm glad. Honestly, it's a cool, unique design, but I gotta love the newer, updated one from this one, and of course the Super NES. Like, it really just stands out.
yeah.
Yep.
And going on websites like Showcase Daikaiju, that will prove which ones are popular and which ones aren't as well, because I mean, a lot of these are already sold out too, and a lot of other websites as well. Yeah, it's just most of the stuff is sold out. Some stuff not so much. That's why it's kind of hard. So I mean, Yahoo Japan is how I snagged my maquette, and I'm eagerly awaiting that.
All right, are we?
That's it for Bandai. Yeah, there's my 15 cents of Bandai stuff.
All right. On to the next, everyone.
Oh man.
Oh, that is right.
Man, this one is hard.
Wow.
I thought I was
Is this
done.
the one I'm picking up?
Nope.
Or is
No,
it?
I got this one. I'm just so this category was Elijah Thomas's. The reason why I made that face and that groan is because as y'all see, there are some figures, some notable figures missing on here. But you know what? I'll wait till the end to bitch and moan. Okay, is that fair?
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. We'll get through this
alright,
like a band-aid, okay?
Okay, so first up is looks like this Kiyu. I forgot what brand is that Kiyu from actually.
SH?
That's like a
Soul of Choke again.
Choke
Oh,
again?
Soul of Choke
Oh, that
again.
Soul of
Yeah,
Choke?
that's right.
yes.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
forget.
Okay, so the Chogogen Kiyu will be is the first one. Right underneath that is going to be the 1991 SH Monster Arts Godzilla. Next, that little bloody thing here, which is one or two things I do have on this list, is the the bloodthirsty Dark Horse Godzilla from Super 7. Next to him is going to be the SH Monster Arts 1972 Gigan. Next to Gigan is going to be the Super 7 Rose Form Biollante. Underneath Biollante, we have the SH Monster Arts Iris, which Lord knows I never thought we'd get an Iris in SH Martial Arts, but whatever.
Come on, Legion, give me that.
Underneath him is going to be the Super 7 Mega Godzilla 2, of course, Cody's favorite Mega Godzilla.
Yep.
Next to him, to the left of him is going to be the Godzilla versus Mega Godzilla Mezco set.
Mhm.
Next to him is going to be the Super 7 12,000 degrees Godzilla as well from Super 7. And next to that Godzilla is going to be the 2019 Hayatoi's King Ghidorah. Now like I said, mentioned a moment ago, I do have some gripes with this list. Which let me see, he should just put them on the list. Anyways, so the reason why I do have some gripes about this is because I feel like this list is missing two things that could have potentially won. One of them I just did a review on today is the SH Monster Arts -1 Godzilla, as well as the SH Monster Arts Gamma Rebirth. I honestly feel like those two could have contended with everything on this list.
Yeah.
Damn.
Those
But
are some big
The
ones. in-
fuck, Elijah?
Here's a disclaimer. Here's a disclaimer.
yes, there's a disclaimer. Each member will
No,
be given a
take that
category
respectfully,
for
part off.
gathering.
Why this one camera? Oh, black.
Take the respectfully part off of it. Everybody go and attack
Yeah, there's no
Elijah.
respectful part of
Everybody go and attack Elijah. Make it personal and make him feel really bad.
Stop.
Call his local Walmart and bitch him out.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is
Oh,
monster.
and also, whoever's stupid sandwiches, just so you know, one of my really good buddies, Frank from Beast of the East, I think is looking into getting the Soul of Chokogen Kiyu, and I promise you, if he does, it will be well under 400. So, keep an eye on his website. A little insider trading information.
Well, now you told everybody. Good job.
Hey, I gotta plug my buddy, man.
Exactly. So before before I say what I think is gonna win from this list, do y'all feel like do you feel like the -1 Godzilla and Gamma Rebirth should have been included in this list,
Minus
or do you think it should have been left out?
Yes,
What do y'all think?
100%.
-1 absolutely should have been included. It was the hugest hit of this year. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I would say for sure both, especially the Gamma Rebirth. I've seen so many reviews where the articulation, nothing popped out unless you meant for it to pop up. But it stood out. You actually get to rotate 360 on his freaking arms, and it's pretty cool. And it's a bulky figure. And the -1, I don't have it personally yet, but it's very like really cool. And it's just like we have more. It's -1. Come on.
I mean, if you want to see it, I got it.
Yeah, let's get back to our screens. Let me see the
I
sucker.
wish Elijah were here to explain himself, because with Gamma I can understand. I feel like he's one of the few people who didn't really like Gamma Rebirth, but with -1,
Yeah.
he loves the hell out of that movie. So I don't know what his thought process.
He loves. I'm surprised he didn't put it in there.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
seen it.
Eddie has a good point too. 99 Gamma also came out this year. I forgot about him, honestly.
That is true.
Good enough, but for I get a reissue / a resculpt because it's just the head that they changed and they added another the battle damage of the 99 Gamma's arm.
Oh, okay, that's fair then. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
But sorry, Eliza, we love you, but we have to give you shit for leaving stuff out.
Hey, you gotta explain yourself when
He's not here to defend himself, so screw him.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he explained himself on. He can explain himself when we pick our winner. But
That's
so
true.
out of this list, I have the Dark Horse Godzilla and I have the Biollante. But honestly, my two is gonna either be that higher King Ghidorah or the 12,000 degree Godzilla because the 12,000 degrees Godzilla blew my mind when I saw everyone's enhanced photos of it. I didn't think it would look as good as it does.
Yeah.
What about y'all? I guess I'll let you go first, Eric.
Look at the size of this King Ghidorah.
Um,
Can't see it.
can't see it.
One second.
Okay, I guess Joe will go first.
Oh, man.
This thing is huge.
Thank you.
And
That's a big boy.
That is a big boy.
really.
You haven't got it out of the box? What are you waiting for?
Huh?
Why haven't you gotten it out of the box?
Because I work and I haven't had time. We're
here, aren't we?
I have a giant pile of things I need to review.
Damn, that's a shoot. You know what? Do a whole big like 10 review something, Joe.
Well, I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
You know what? You have all those figures. They do like 5 figures in one review. You know,
I'm gonna have to.
Go at it.
So, Joe, you'll pick the higher Ghidorah, I'm guessing?
Yeah, what is yours?
Well, since I rudely interrupted you, I guess I'll go.
Right. Nathan.
You know what you did.
Yeah, for real. I have the Haya Ghidorah, I have the Dark Horse, and I have the Biollante. I'm gonna give it to Ghidorah. However, I wouldn't be mad if Dark Horse won just out of pure nostalgia. I grew up with those comics. I absolutely fucking adore those comics. There was no. They were just great, freaking fun comics. It brought you back to a simpler time. I'll be PC.
Why?
So yeah, same like my picks. I have 3 out of the 10 here. And so I got the 1200 degree. I have the Dark Horse, and I got the Biollante. But my back and forth here, I'm gonna go with the Dark Horse or the 1200 degree. Like Joe, like the Dark Horse, dude, that was the holy Bible for me back in the day. Like I took those things everywhere that I went, and I read them multiple times over, and I just absolutely love that series. And when they announced this, I mean, we were giddy as crap, and we were just little boys transported back to when we were small, and we were like, holy crap, like we're actually getting a figure of this thing. Like that's amazing. So like, but the 1200 degree one, that is really cool. We have no representation of like Godzilla actually melting down like that, and that essence and stuff like that. Like that's like Toho usually doesn't like to show that kind of stuff, but like this past year, they've really like opened the gates. We're like, okay, like it's okay to show their character like weakness and everything like that, where it just
in a graphic context.
Yeah, in a graphic way and everything. And it's nice. It's nice to see that we're finally getting that, because we're getting good figures like this. And who knows, maybe we will get a suit accurate or a more accurate figure from X Plus and stuff like that. So I mean, who knows? But yeah, I mean, those two are up in the air for me. But yeah.
So Leslie actually had a good question. He's curious, wouldn't the Mexico 1989 gigantic Godzilla be in this category? That figure had articulation. Wouldn't it count? We actually did talk about that. And what was the limit we put on articulation? It had so many points of articulation to put it in here, because
like above.
If you thought it wouldn't be technical, the Bandai has articulation, so we wanted to make sure they had so much articulation to put it in this category.
And didn't the Mezco like barely like at the very end of 2023 like barely showed up in people's hands, or was it barely like?
I mean, it still came out this year. This doesn't go in this category. Hint, hint.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe get it next time.
What about you, Aaron? Well, what are you picking from this list?
Man, this was another tough one. I do want to point out though, it's really interesting seeing all three tokusatsu. How do I say it? The tokusatsu Mechagodzillas, just because the later ones are either CG or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just really cool seeing all three of them here. Although I wouldn't say any of them are my pick, although it's close. Mine would probably have to be the Burning Godzilla, just because it's such a cool concept. I don't even know if we've seen this before in figure form, right? This is like the first time.
Yeah.
Even as a kid, I think.
No, the closest thing to this was like I think Bandai Toys Dream Project did like a uniquely colored version. It came in a box and they called it the Meltdown Godzilla, but it didn't show any skeleton or anything. It's not like it's nothing near like this.
Yeah, exactly. This is like mid Meltdown, like where you see him up close. And it's just such a cool figure. And I really like it because at the beginning of 2023, Super 7 was just getting all sorts of heat for what was it, the first 89 release?
Yeah.
Oh my god, no one had faith in them, and then they just kind of rose back up, and it's just really cool to see them kind of killing it, So I think I'm gonna go for that one.
Yeah, they definitely turned it around with the Dark Horse. Like the first release was the Violente in the 89, and just it wasn't up to par what people thought, but the second one was the Dark Horse that did turn them around, I think. And then now with this 1200 degree and the Destroya actually came out. Also, is not on here. I mean, those two, have been a bar above what they've done. So.
All right, Sammy, what you think?
Oh, so I can go now. Cool. All right. So you know how biased I am, but I'm gonna think about this logically. I'm not gonna think about this from my perspective. Yeah, I was here for y'all's box days when y'all were opening up that Dark Horse, and the joy and giddiness and y'all's big bearded faced eyes was pretty cool to see that from y'all's point of view. Y'all were really digging that thing, and I didn't really read the comics growing up, but that is a neat nostalgic contender for sure to fall back to something like that. And I really dig that Haya Ghidorah. That's really impressive and massive. But thinking about releases that just haven't been done, that's something that I think grabs collectors' attention. So the Dark Horse and the Meltdown what is it called? 1200 degree Godzilla. That's literally what it's called. Okay, well, those two, because they stand out. They're just so unique and different. I think that's going to catch collectors' eyes that are interested in stuff like that and make those top contenders. Because out of the ordinary stuff, just people gravitate towards that more than anything these days. I feel like, even though Gaijin should
win. Oscar, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I've seen. Getting the Dark Horse Godzilla, the Biollante. I've seen reviews of the Iris. It looked cool. I was gonna go for it, but man, the assembly on the tendrils and how putting in flight form. Oh my goodness, I'm glad I didn't get that because I would just I'm glad. But if I were to pick, for sure I would go for the Hyatt because one, the Monstars, unfortunately, I still like the Monstars, but since look at the Hyatt, okay, that's gone. You can put this Ghidorah in a crawling on a crawling pose. You can actually stand it without the support stands, but still just keep them under there just for precautions. You can actually stand it without the support stands, but still just keep them under there just.
Who's got on their phone?
Who's on? I hear an echo.
Did anybody
I heard an echo too.
I got
someone has on their phone and it's.
But King Ghidorah, like it just really stands out, and of course, Gaigan. I mean, I know I've heard that of course, unfortunately, people break the Gaigan's wings like by accident because they're not taking care of it properly. But like, I would say all of them. Oh, and of course the Meltdown Godzilla. I mean, like, sheesh, like it really stands out. And I mean, like X Plus, take notes from Super 7. Come on, we need that in a bigger scope. But all of them, for sure, the higher toys would be my number one. But I would still go for the Dark Horse right behind it because like again, like you guys said, I seen y'all's unboxing, I see y'all's happiness, and like if it were with me, like with Trendmaster, like with the early Trendmaster, like I was able to get some Trendmaster figures of Godzilla. If they were to do, Super 7 does a Trendmaster's version of Godzilla, like for you guys, with 7, I'd be the same way as well. Like I'd be a very happy camper. So Haya Toys, King Ghidorah, and the Dark Horse Godzilla, I'm right there with those two.
All right, I guess that's
All right.
all we got for this
Something to share?
category.
You too, huh?
Okay, well, are we done?
Yeah, we're done. Unless anyone else wants to complain about Elijah again,
Yes.
go for it.
Oh, just remember.
Oh,
Yep, not our fault.
Not our fault.
He
It
didn't
is.
want to. So why does he get any grief? Why does he get any grace?
That's funny. All right, we're going on next.
Woo!
So,
Man,
Jesus.
this is my category.
all right, go on there.
So, this is a new category actually that was not in our
Previous year.
category from last year. Actually, I talked about it with Adrian and everything like that, and the guys, and I was like, you know what, we need a category for this, just because I just think overall the model kits, that game is just kind of coming more to the forefront, and it just needs to have a bigger spotlight on their stuff because this stuff's been going on for years and years and years, and just not enough people are talking about it. And so I just felt it necessarily that we needed to put this category in. And we have some bangers, honestly, because this stuff is big dog stuff right here. But without further ado, I will start with the upper left, which is the Monster Maker 28 Anguirus 1972. This is a newer kit that Niwa just released actually a couple months ago. I have yet to get my hands on it, but I will get my hands on it at G-Fest from Kaiju Modeler and everything. So that is the first one. The second one to...
How big is it?
How
big is it?
It is 30 centimeters.
Damn it.
Yes, and it's probably maybe even a little bit bigger, maybe even 32, honestly, just because kits are a little bit bigger normally. So, but yeah, it's a big boy. So I actually got rid of my X Plus to get this. So, but yeah, right next to him is the gigantic Spiral Studios GMK from their, I don't think it's their Legacy series, but this actually did come out in kit form. That's why he is in here.
Oh, wow.
So they actually came out with 2 different releases. It was kit form where it's all disassembled, where you put it together, you do your own paint job, the way you want it, or the fully assembled, painted, all that kind of stuff. So so that was in here. And then next to that is the Black Dragon updated wrap kit. If anybody knows anything about model kits, years and years ago, Yuji Sakai put out a wrap kit of the 1991 movie, and Black Dragon kind of stepped it up a little bit, and this thing is absolutely massive. I think these two are 40 centimeter scale, so these things are gigantic. And I think, honestly, what I heard is I think they've only made like less than 10 in the world.
Wow.
Jesus.
So they go for
man.
Stupid money.
I saw somebody in one of the model groups that I'm in got one, and I think he paid like $5,000 for it. So
God.
it's like I said, this is big dog stuff right here, and everything. But
Count me out.
I will answer a question here for Stupid Sandwich. Yes, KOC
Yeah.
64. That is a re-release. It is not the initial release. It's kind of the second batch, so I did not put it in here just because it didn't initially come out this year. So I have one, and I gotta send it out to get painted, and it's definitely in there. But I just went off of everything that was new. So. And then, okay, so right after that, we have the Monster Maker 28 Hyper Gauss from the Heisei series.
Man.
I love this. I have one. It is in my possession. Good friend Marcellus Winters built and painted it for me. It looks exactly like this, and it's amazing. I was so glad and happy to get finally something for Gauss from the Heisei series because, I mean, for some reason, nobody's doing the hyper accurate figures of him except for maybe Bandai, and that's really about it. And so I know Leslie got one of these and everything, and I believe his is getting worked on and stuff. But yeah, this thing is absolutely beautiful. So I was happy to put that in my collection.
And Eric, sorry to cut you off, but if
Yep.
you were a Hyper Gauss from '99, would you go for that? Or Super Gauss, Super Gauss, Super Hyper, from '99? Would you for it, or just stick with the?
I would. It would depend on what it like the pose looked like and stuff like that. I know actually Black Dragon put out one of those Gausses actually, but it's almost like when he was dying, when he was looking up and everything, and Gamera was going to blow the fireball at him in the very beginning of the movie and stuff. So I don't really like that look on him and stuff like that. So if they changed up the pose, maybe, but yeah, I probably would, honestly.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm just want to ask that. Sorry for cutting you off, but yeah.
Yeah, no worries. And then next to that, we have the Tease Factal Millennium Space Godzilla. This kind of goes with their Millennium Godzilla 2000. If you have seen that one where it's all spiky and everything like that, it's got like forearm spikes and everything, very stylized kind of look to it. They went ahead and did a different sculpt for him and stuff like that, where they try to match it up with that Godzilla and stuff like that, but obviously made Space Godzilla and stuff. So, and then let's see, we'll go right below him, and that is the Black Dragon Godzilla 1995 to go along with the Perfect Form Destroya.
Wow.
Now we are getting this from X Plus. It's kind of crazy and funny that X Plus was able to acquire this so fast because they hadn't even brought it out yet. And it's almost like they had a deal in place that once they acquired the Destroyer rights and everything to distribute them, maybe they knew that the 95 was coming. And so they're like, hey, like we want part of that. So, once it's done and everything, we're going to release it also. So that is also in kit form. You can actually have it in this version where it's all solid like that. So you could do like a normal, like Heisei Godzilla, or they also sell it with the clear patches to give them the burning Godzilla look also. So there's two different ways that you can buy that particular figure. And obviously from X Plus coming, it's going to be fully painted, fully assembled, and a light up. So I'm excited. I got that one on pre-order to go along with my Destroya. So
and come on, we need it from that too. I mean, come on.
Exactly, and you never know, that X Plus one is coming out I think actually next month, and you never know, that could be figure of the year for 2024. So
yeah.
And then right next to him, I know it's one of Leslie's favorites. I know maybe Adrian might like this one, even Joe, all fans of 84, but this is the Tetsuku Craft Godzilla 1984. I mean, this thing is amazing. I think this is probably their best sculpt that they've done so far. This is gigantic size.
Absolutely.
So it's 50 centimeters. If you haven't seen anything about it, obviously go and watch Leslie's review on this. He did a nice review on it. And he even talked to Marcellus about building it and painting and stuff like that on Collect All Monsters. So go check out that video also. The thing is beautiful. I mean, Marcellus did a great job on it, and obviously they sculpted this thing really, really well. So who knows? But next to him, we're gonna switch gears and we're gonna give some Gamera some love. And this is a gigantic style trauma Gamera that's Black Dragon actually released this year. We don't have a lot of trauma Gamera stuff, so this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Having this, especially when it's gigantic size, when it's 50 centimeters, like that's crazy. But this is a very expensive one also, and not very many made. So this one's kind of hard to acquire and stuff like that, but another big boy purchase for sure. And then of course right next to him, this is another Space Godzilla. He got some love this year. This is the CCP Space Godzilla. It looks amazing. They are releasing this in 2 different versions. There is a kit version where you have to build and paint it all by yourself, or you can buy the built and painted version also. But this one is a little pricey. This one's kind of up there, but still beautiful. It looks pretty suit accurate and everything. But yeah, it's definitely on my radar. I'm going to see if I can maybe try to score this one, but we'll see. And then finally, switching gears again, we're going to give some love to Ultra Q, or Ultraman, really. This is the Shin Gomez by CCP. This is another big one that is very expensive and very limited. This is another one that is being released in 2 different forms. Obviously, build and paint yourself, or pre-built and painted also. So lots of crazy stuff in here, lots of big boys. But definitely a lot of great stuff that needs to be shown and talked about a lot more.
Yeah, amazing.
Like I said, me, Leslie, Marcellus, I mean, we're big into kits and stuff like that. And, there's so much of this stuff that's been going on for so long. You'd be surprised at how many kits are out there and how long they've been doing this and how old these things are and stuff. So definitely need to put the spotlight on this stuff. So, but yeah, that's some of the kits that you can choose from. Questions, comments, concerns?
Thanks for doing that, because not many people add the kit category when it comes to figure, because most people think of figures, they're like, toys, like actual already produced and made and painted stuff. So to add something that was very cool, because there's definitely a lot of love for figure kits out there.
Oh yeah, especially for like
Sure.
I feel like like Eric, again, like you and Leslie and Marcellus, y'all really are like showing a lot of love and appreciation, and of course sharing a lot with everyone else that are not into model kits, and then now they're slowly getting into model kits, and it's pretty cool and crazy. I never, when I see this stuff, I automatically think, they're gonna like X Plus and all that stuff. But when I learn more about model kits from you and Leslie, like I just keep on learning a whole lot more about this stuff. I mean, yeah, I would love to be into model kits, but I don't trust myself with handling it with care. I'll be too careful where I bump into something like, oh, I'd be heartbroken. But
I love model kits, but it's got, for the price points and the lack of being able to have the artistic talent to paint them myself, and I'm always afraid to. I've sent stuff off in the past to folks and had stuff painted, but it's just I'm also terrified of resin. It's a fragile, heavy material, and one foul move and that thing is gone.
yeah,
Honestly, it's not as scary as you think it is. Honestly, once you do have it in hand and you do get used to handling it, it's really not that bad. It's not.
It's really not. Go ahead.
Stuff that has like wings, like really pointy wings and stuff. Those are scary. For a while, I eventually sold it, and I regret it. I had the it was the Resin Chef Ukeki Gaigan 1973. The wings on that thing were terrifying. I triple extra bubble wrap the crap out of it when I sent it to the person that I sold it to.
Eric, I'm reading Leslie's comment right here, and it says,
is he being a dick?
yeah, y'all forgot about the Galloping Ghost kits from Godzilla 72, Angus, and Rodan, etc.
Somebody put up the disclaimer.
Mhm.
I already did. I put it up earlier.
I mean, honestly, like there was so many I could put up and everything, and I was really trying to focus on the ones that were kind of talked about and kind of spread around the group more than others. I love the Galloping Ghost kits. I want to get a few of them. Honestly, I've talked to Joe, Adrian, and Michael about it and stuff like that. And I also want to get the 72 sculpted by Burley Vang. I know all that stuff, but it's just I could only do so much and everything. I just thought that these are the ones that kind of talked about and kind of focused on a lot more than those, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, maybe next year I'll add some more. But yeah, it's just kind of it sucks, but it is what it is. Like it's just there's so much good stuff to put in here that you can only do so much.
Was the 72 Ghidorah, which was sculpted, I think that was Resin Chef also. Was that this year or was that the year before? That was also this year. The 72
I think
Ghidorah.
it was 2023. And that's
Or
another
past
one
year,
that
past year, I keep saying.
Yeah. And that's another one that could have made it too and everything, but it's just
That's right.
yeah. It sucks. But I think there was another question. Stupid sandwich. Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't know if they're doing it the same as what Black Dragon was doing with their model kit. Just because it is going to be a light up, we might not get that, but we might, and it might reflect a little bit more. But it was kind of hard to tell because X Plus, when they were talking about it, especially on their live stream, that they didn't really go into details or show anything. They just had the Godzilla, and that was it. They didn't even have the light up aspect even working or maybe even installed in the figure yet. So it was probably very prototype phase for it. So I'm not sure what they're going to use for those or for that aspect and everything. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's just translucent vinyl and then they just throw in the lights, honestly.
Isn't that one going to be resin as well?
It is. It's like I said, it's going to match up with the Final Form Destroya for the FSL line, which will be
right.
resin.
Okay.
And hey, you are not wrong.
Yeah.
You are not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Especially MM28 for sure.
You would be surprised at how many kits X Plus figures are based off of.
Yep.
Especially the 30s
Yeah.
for sure. I think that most of the 25s are original sculpts though. Like,
I believe you're right.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you.
I think every
You
25.
maybe. I'm not sure because most of the MM28s are 30 centimeter, right? At least.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Mhm.
MM28, that's all 30, but 25 centimeters by X Plus, that's all original sculpts, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, yeah.
All right. Who wants to start first and pick your pick?
I'll do
go
it because
first.
I haven't gone first yet. Okay, fine.
All right.
Go, you big baby.
Well, my consideration for the figure of the year model kit. Looking at all these, again, model kits are terrifying to me, and there's some really cool stuff out here. Popularity wise, and again, accessibility, since I would have said that middle thing because that's ridiculously cool, but God, if there's only 10 of them out there, who can get that?
10 people, obviously.
Fucking celebrities.
Help me.
Right?
Yeah, help me. Yeah, no shit.
I'm gonna give it a strong tie between GMK and that the right here in the corner, if I can point correctly. The burning Godzilla, the Heisei right there in the corner. Especially because that GMK is based off of like what we saw in the vinyl form recently, but to have it in kit form, it's a very popular, amazing sculpt. And then there's so many Heisei fans out there to have what you spoke of, the different alterations of that. You can either have it like the solid one as you spoke of, or with the translucent vinyl, so that you can give it a variation of either like the 94 Godzilla or the 95. That's going to give people options, and that's going to make people really excited. So those are the two contenders. Give me a second. Maybe I'll land on one in particular after I'm staring at him for a bit. I'll come back to me and I'll give you which one I land on definitively.
Adrian, you go.
So I really love the Gauss the Gauss is definitely something, Eric. I was looking for at G-Fest. I can't find. But you already know I'll go with the Tenjitsu Crafts 1984 Godzilla. That thing is incredible. The only reason why I didn't try and get that is because I'm trying to get a gigantic sidebot. That's the only thing that stopped me from getting this mother effer. This thing looks incredible. Leslie did a great review on it. Marcellus did a great job building and painting it. Like I said, if I wasn't hunting for a sidebot, I would have bought this, and that's definitely gonna be my pick for sure. But it's definitely him and Gauss are legit right neck and neck with each other for sure.
Who called it? Who said that you were going to choose that? Somebody called it. They said Adrian's going to. They said Adrian loves 84.
But I do love the CCP Space Godzilla also. If it wasn't for the price range, I probably would have got that too, honestly. All right. Oscar, how about you go? What do you pick for the best kit?
All these pieces, like, it's just really cool, especially with the 91 Godzilla and King Ghidorah together. I mean, but like some of y'all said, like 10 pieces. Like, I'm surprised Leslie doesn't have this. I mean, if he did, oh my gosh, I know he would go gaga for that for sure. And of course, I saw his review of the 84 Godzilla, very beautiful. But honestly, I would, it might be. I know he probably won't win, but I want to show some love to Anguirus. I mean, Anguirus, really, I've seen. And like the sculpt and the paint wise, everything's very beautifully well made. And a close second, I would say the Gauss, because Eric, I saw your review on it. Very beautiful piece. And oh my gosh, if X Plus does this in FSL line, I would for sure try and get my hands on it. But if not, I would just be very happy that they've done it. So for sure, number one, Anguirus, but right behind it, I would say the 95 Gauss.
Absolutely.
Because he's 1972. That's why.
All right, Aaron.
I think I got to go all Gamera on this one. Trauma Gamera and also the Gauss. I'm liking those ones a lot.
Ooh, interesting.
Now, remind me again, from a non-Gamera standpoint, what is Trauma Gamera from?
Oh, he's
from Gamera. Go ahead.
Sorry. The Trauma Gamma is from Gamma 99, where the girl Ayame was, having nightmares, and she sees Gamma as the villain because she had Gamma had, destroyed.
Oh.
Yeah, and her family was there with her cat Iris. So in her mind, she sees Gamma as the villain, and of course, we have this model kit, and we have Real Trauma Gamma as well. So.
Coming out,
yeah. That's where this is from.
I've heard the terminology nightmare Gamera like my whole life.
Yeah,
it's the same nightmare trauma.
But the trauma sounds a bit cooler.
It's not.
That's a traumatic looking son of a.
Yeah, that's how she sees Gamera, just because she hates him so much. But he's not a real thing technically. It's not another form of Gamera he takes, or it's not an evil Gamera.
It's a dream sequence, nightmare sequence. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Okay. Thank you.
I think we're waiting for Joe, right?
Yes. Yeah. Aaron got through with his quick.
Mine's sorry. I'm gonna go with the Burning because I pre-ordered that from X Plus, so I'm gonna bank on it looking as good as that model kit. I also really like the 84. So yeah, I would say the Burning and then the 84.
Man. Joe and Eric, I feel like if you got, y'all should do like a live unboxing for y'all now. A Burning Godzilla. I don't know.
Ooh, a double unboxing?
Yeah, but I gotta wait for him to get it in Norwegia.
Hey, I'll get it just as fast as you will.
No, you're always later than me. You know that.
Well, I know that's true, but
he works for the post office. I mean, this guy has the end, man. All right. Well, if I have to land on a definitive one, knowing the popularity of it all, I guess I will go all the way. Just after hearing you guys talk and looking at him, the Burning Godzilla is probably going to be. It's a strong contender for top for sure.
Yep. Absolutely. Can't go wrong with any of these.
Even though Anguirus should win.
Nope.
Because it's 72.
All right. I think that's it, right? Everybody go?
Mhm.
Yeah, we all went, right?
All right. Great. On to the next.
No.
Ooh,
Oh,
doggy.
this is mine.
This is the woo doggy.
This is a topic of controversy right here.
Okay.
Yep,
Oh.
this is gonna be a bloodbath, I think, because
It
there's
is.
so
Yes,
much.
sir.
There's so much going on here, and there's so many figures that didn't make the cut.
Yes, there is.
But like everyone else was saying, I tried to go by. So it's my category, and I tried to go by the figures that everyone was talking about, good and bad. And there was just it came to these just because these got so much attention. I'll go by it's in the order of scale, starting from smallest to biggest. So I'll start with the Ultima here. That is the X Plus Large Monster Series Godzilla Ultima. And if you watched our episode Kaiju Animation, you'll know how much I don't like how much I don't what is it even called? The show that this is from. So
Singular
for me
point.
to be Singular Point. So for me to be praising this thing is kind of crazy for me, but it is such a good design and it's such a well executed sculpt. I don't have it just because it's small, and my whole thing is I pretty much only collect figures that are 40 centimeters or higher. This is 40 centimeters and under, and because this guy is a 25 centimeter scale, I didn't get it. But there are some members of Monsters with Attitude who did get this thing and showed it off, and it looks amazing. If this was a few years ago, I would have bought this thing for sure. So that's why that's on the list. The next one is the X Plus Large Monster Series Godzilla 1992, and it might be at first glance, just looking at all these other items, it might be the most underwhelming to some people, but I do think it's a pretty good execution of the suit overall, and I do think it's the best 92 X Plus has put out.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the general consensus.
Really?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Kai?
It's like, it's good.
It's
The
better than Sky.
like looking at
For
this,
sure, so the Sakai is it's probably the most underwhelming Sakai X Plus has released. Not that it's bad, just that
Yes, it is. It's bad.
yeah, I won't say it's bad, but it's not up to par with even just the other Heisei suits he's done. So
that's true.
Yeah, so this one to me is a lot better. That's why I'm including it in the list. Plus, a lot of people ended up when it started coming out. A lot of people were talking about it, how much it surprised them, how much better it is in person than they thought it would be. So there's that. So the next one is the X Plus Large Monster Series Sakai Godzilla 2000. It has a really long title, Stationary Examination Model from the maquette. Yeah.
Low.
That's obnoxious. That's an obnoxious title.
It is. And this one is kind of a weird release to me, just because it's like, I don't know. I feel like it came out at a weird time. I don't know about how you guys feel about it. Just because it came out after his other maquette, 30 centimeter one, and I don't even really know what this guy is or why he's called that. It does look like a cool figure to me, and I saw nothing really but positive feelings about it, so I included it here just because there was so many people talking about it. And speaking of 2000, that's not the only 2000 on this list. There is also the W Dragon 30 centimeter Godzilla 2000 Millennium.
Oh,
and this guy, I don't know, my personal. So it also released the same year as the X Plus Super Toho Series 30 centimeter Godzilla 2000, the 3D suit scan version right next to it.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing there's going to be a big rivalry between these two. There already was, even before they released, about people saying, oh, this one's better. Oh, but this one's a suit scan. You can't get better than that. But this one's a better pose. Yeah. And that's my feelings on it. To me, the W Dragon is how we remember the suit from the movie. Mm-hmm. The X Plus is how it actually is in real life, where it's just, sitting in storage or whatever.
Yeah, like 8.
So I don't know. We could go either way. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Who was that?
No, I was me and Adrian had a discussion about this recently, and I'll get into that after we go through the whole list.
I know there's so much to talk about with just these two. So there's that. Right next to them is one of the most anticipated figures I think in X Plus's history, is the 30 centimeter Sakai Shin Godzilla Awakening version.
Yep.
That particular one in the picture is from the G Store, I think. But all three versions are incredible. I think it's one of my favorite sculpts he's ever released. Like I said, since I don't really collect 40 centimeters and under anymore, I didn't get it. But if this was a few years ago, I would have bought all three versions just because it's that good of a figure. And then oh man, there's these two next to it too. There's the X Plus favorite sculptors line, Godzilla 1974, which to me is the best 74 they've released.
You mean 75, but not 3.
Shut up, Simpson.
Anyway, next to him is
It's okay,
is also the favorite sculptors line, Mechagodzilla 1974, and to me is also probably the best 74 Mecha G they've released.
Yes.
I'm on the fence just because I really love the gigantic one too. And then another favorite sculptors line from X Plus is the 40 centimeter scale Destroyer aggregate form. That one is really crazy. I think that's the Black Dragon, right? The Black Dragon sculpt.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then also accompanying him from the same company, Black Dragon, is the X Plus favorite sculptors line 40 centimeter scale Destroyer final form. That one to me is insane. It's probably going, just my own personal thought, it's probably going to be one of the biggest contenders for figure of the year.
Oh yeah.
Just because, my God, that thing is, I wish I got that thing.
You're a wise man, Aaron. You're a wise man.
Yeah, but no, seriously, it's just, I don't know. I can't think of any bad thing to say about it. What I have heard though, that people are saying that, oh, why is he in such a non-film accurate pose? But to me, it's like, no, that's like, it's kind of like the W Dragon, where that's how we kind of remember him in our heads. He's in such a ferocious, roaring stance.
Yeah.
And this is probably how Godzilla remembers him too, just because he's such a scary, not just in the Heisei series one, but just one of the scariest kaiju he's ever faced in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's from the Xbox game.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah, the pose and all.
I can't believe I never thought about that. But that's why it feels so right. That is very true.
Yeah, it's a video game pose. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey, there you go.
And then now that was the last X Plus on the list. Now we're getting into some of the bigger companies. Right next to him is the Easy Hobby Alpha Kaiju Series Godzilla 2021 Battle Taunting version. And you might have seen this guy in a bigger scale released the previous year. That is not this one. This is, I guess he's just a smaller version of that.
Yeah.
In a different paint scheme, I guess. So same figure, but it's smaller scale. It's well, I don't think it's the same figure. It says Battle Taunting version, so some parts of it of the sculpt are a little different, which is why we included it in here. So it's not exactly a reissue.
And isn't it? And of course, like there's like 3 other, total wise 3 different paint schemes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. I think. Yeah.
That one where they come with the King Ghidorah skull, and another one was heat ray. So and it also comes with the heat ray, little extra accessory, but also you can put it in the mouth. And the third one, it's a battle damage, 2021 version.
Yep.
But with Godzilla with the Argo jet, which is pretty damn cool. I was so close on getting it, but of course other was there, and oh my god, I'm a bit upset I passed it, but it's just pretty damn cool. All 3 of them in their own rights.
Yeah.
And also I think they're supposedly, I've seen pictures and videos of, there's supposed to be like miniatures as well of the exact same skull, but like with those 3 and a Hong Kong version where it's like it's neon lights shining all around it, and that's like just 4 of those. Oh, and of course a Burning Godzilla variant as well. And I didn't know that. Yeah, like a smaller. I don't know. I don't think it's 6-inch scale, but like maybe like 25 centimeters around there. Like they're a bit smaller, but
Oh, like it's smaller. I think I've seen those actually. Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah, I
think
know what you're talking about.
on YouTube and damn, like I'm surprised I haven't seen them, out in the wild yet. So yeah, I just wanted to just throw that in there. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. I didn't know all those details, so that was really cool of you to add that.
Yeah,
And then next to him is also another easy hobby. It's this time from their Omega Beast series is the Gamera 1999 figure. The one in the picture is a standard one, but I believe there's another one that comes with Gauss and some other stuff in his hand.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
and
Yeah. So, go ahead.
I don't think anybody was going. I think it's still you.
Oh, that was just in my head then. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about it just because I don't have it. But I did see a bunch of people talking about it when it was leading up to its release and when it was released.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why that's on the list. Plus, we just thought it'd be nice to have some Gamera representation on here.
yeah.
Let's see. Next on the list is the Prime 1 Godzilla 2021, and he's more of a standard. Now, unlike the Battle Taunting version from Easy Hobby, this one's more of a standard roaring pose. He's not really doesn't look like he's battling anyone. It's just like a normal Godzilla pose. And this one, if anyone doesn't know, this one is more. It's not the huge one that they released, or it's not even the diorama one they released. This one's just more of a standalone vinyl version of the 2021 design. And then next up is the Spiral Studios Titans of the Monsterverse 40 centimeter scale Queen Muto. This one's a pretty crazy figure that I saw a lot of people raving about.
Oh yeah.
And for years prior, no one really thought we'd get a serious Muto figure like this, and we were all. A lot of people were clamoring for it, and no one was really trying to do it until Spiral Studios did it, and I think that's pretty cool of them to do kaiju that no one else is really doing. Which leads me to the next one, which is even crazier to me, is the Spiral Studios Titans of the Monsterverse 40 centimeter scale Behemoth.
Man.
I don't see anyone else doing a figure of this guy. I think there's an articulated one. I don't know if that's officially licensed. I don't know. Does anyone know?
It's not officially licensed. The only other Behemoth is from YMSF.
Yeah,
that's what I was
yeah.
going to say. Yep.
Yeah, so like we don't have a monster.
Well, and then there's also like a miniature from like Playmates or something.
Yeah, there is a miniature.
Oh right,
yeah.
But other than that, you don't see this guy a lot anyway. Just because he only has like 20 seconds of screen time across the entire cinematic universe.
My goodness, I'm surprised X Plus didn't take advantage of that. Yet.
Yeah, that shouldn't surprise me just because they haven't even done some of the major. Like, there's no Mothra, I think. We just got a King Ghidorah last year. No Mecha Godzillas. I'm not even a Defo Real, I think.
Nope.
But anyway, and then the last item on this list is the Spiral Studios Titans of the Monsterverse 40 centimeter scale Mothra larva form. The picture here is the standard one, but we're including both of them because I saw a lot of people get both this one and what is the other one called? The red
one, which is like the reaction or
something like that.
Yeah, but you probably seen
defensive. I'm sorry, defensive. It's defensive.
Oh yeah,
defensive. Yes,
defensive. Yeah, which I just think it's really cool that they're doing these statues. Because who else has done a Mothra larval form from the Monsterverse? I don't really recall anyone. There has to be one out there, but
isn't it like
this scale and detail?
Gashapon ones or something?
Yeah, just like the smaller ones.
Yeah, smaller ones.
Spirit Arts, I believe.
Yeah.
Spirit Arts. Yeah.
Yeah, and that one's pretty cool too. But this, like, at this scale and this amount of detail is just insane.
Yeah. Man, all these are wonderful picks. Like, option, like it's crazy.
I know. Like I said, I don't know who to really to me, it's not a for sure vote this time like it was in all the other years. It's like,
Yeah, God
damn,
no.
who is gonna win? I mean, for me, one of the closest ones is Destroyer, the final form. But even then, it's like I don't know. It's like it's kind of crazy.
It depends on your interests, really, because certain folks,
Yeah,
it really is like what you like to collect and what you're able to collect. So
exactly.
people are going to be biased in certain categories for sure. But I would say, okay, so when we were talking about the two Godzilla 2000s, me and Adrian had when we were talking about these together recently the other night, we were like, man, what is the real difference between these two? I mean, they both look really cool. And I was like, the X Plus one looks more like he does from Godzilla 2000. Meanwhile, the W Dragon is more like him and Megaguirus. If you look at them side by side, we were sitting there looking at them side by side. We were like, 2000 is more of like the X Plus is more like 2000 like. That's definitely like Godzilla Millennium, and the W Dragon he kind of gives off a more Megaguirus vibe from that film.
Think about that's
what me and Michael talked about too. We Michael thought the exact same thing that we did, Samson. That
I know
the W Dragon is Megaguirus, and the X Plus is definitely Godzilla 2000 for sure.
That's kind of where even though they're supposed to be the same thing, it's I don't know. I mean,
there's slight differences even between the movies. So
there's the color for Godzilla Megaguirus, he was definitely more green. He had a more green tint to him for sure.
Yeah,
but even so, just so that you could justify having them both, you can be like, this one's got 2000, this one's Godzilla Megaguirus.
Gotcha.
That would be me making that justification. I'm that guy.
I don't blame you, man. They're both amazing. Yeah. If I had to pick just one, though, just personally, it's crazy. This might be crazy for some people to hear, but I picked the W Dragon just because I like the energy of his pose more. And then people will say, but the other one's suits. I know, but it's like it's kind of a more of a boring static pose to me. It's like a museum. Like this is how. It's like I said earlier. It's like that's how he is in storage, while the W Dragon is like how he actually is on film. I think so.
Which
that's
is fair. I get that.
Yeah.
He looks like he's about to do like a kung fu move. Like,
yeah, I like that. As a Final Wars fan, come on, that's why I picked that.
But no, Aaron makes a good point. This is there's not a clear winner in this list, honestly.
Yeah.
Like you would think Destroyer would win, but Lord knows how long we've been waiting for 1974 Godzilla. The 1974 Mega Godzilla is perfection for 74. Both Godzilla 2000s are really awesome. This is probably gonna be the most voted on list, I think. And I think this list is gonna go down to the wire.
Man, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Just because it's the most accessible list too, out of all of them, I think. Because most people, I've seen the consensus that most people like collecting film accurate around this scale, these figures, like pre-made too, not model kits or whatever. So I think more people will have these figures than any of the others, probably.
Yep. All I gotta say is Final Form Destroyer is my pick.
Oh yeah,
hands down.
Destroyer or Aggregate, hands down, blows them all out of the water.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty much on the boat with that for sure. The Final Form Destroyer top pick, but of course the Aggregate is right behind it. And just for me, me being biased, I would love to have the W Dragon Godzilla 2000 win, but of course I highly doubt I know it's not gonna win, but Aggregate and Final Form Destroyer, they're like this. But I feel like who knows that for sure Final Form Destroyer would be my main pick.
So I want the X Plus Godzilla 2000 to win, but realistically, I think Destroyer should win. But I want the Godzilla 2000 to win.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking from so this is how I'm going to do this now. I'm going to talk about what I would like my personal one that I like the most, and then which one is actually going to win. So the 73 that with a little bit of tweaking can be the 74 is my favorite, and then
we're not doing this today, Samson.
And then the Destroyer Final Form is going to be the winner because of how many folks have just raved about it and
Yeah.
bought it, and it's
I'm
gonna,
gonna-
I'm gonna predict him for the win.
I'm going to call it now. I think that Final Form Destroyer is overall figure of the year.
I can see that happening for sure. It's always an X plus figure or a giant statue. It's always one of those that wins overall.
Yeah. I think everybody voted.
I think we all did.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
On to our next one.
On to the next.
Oh man. Okay, I'm very hyped for this. I have my uncles, y'all know why.
So I'm going to take this one. This was Michael's category, but unfortunately,
He's
he's
a
under the
bitch.
weather, so he is not here. So I will do it for him. So yeah.
Zoom in on my face. You know how miserable I am right now, and I'm here. I got a fucking blanket like I'm a 95-year-old woman knitting a fucking Afghan.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Michael had the coughs.
Anyway. All right, so we'll start with the top left green one. That is the Marusan 450 Godzilla 1974.
Wow, so you can get one of those.
They've come out with plenty of colorways and versions of this thing so far, but yeah, it's a great sculpt. I have one personally, so absolutely love it. Right next to that, it is a newcomer this year that I think a lot of people did not expect and were really surprised at how great this thing is. This is the Neo Player One Burning Godzilla. There was two versions of this, but Michael picked the all orange burning version and stuff like that. So yeah, this was a show exclusive at Wonderfest, and I believe there was only 600 total, and you had to buy a ticket. And basically just luck of the draw. If you were able to get picked, then you could actually buy the thing. So, and then right after that in the middle is the T-Base GMK. They are also new to the game of Sofubi and Godzilla Sofubi, really. This thing is amazing. I have this one, and it is absolutely great. Joe, you cannot have mine. As much as you beg and plead. So,
Well, I didn't want it anyways.
Yeah. Right next to that is the Spiral's Toys Godzilla 2019. It is like I said, this is a new one that's new. They had two colorways of this. This is the original first release. Really great blue spines on it and stuff like that. So, yep, they were brand new this year.
Yep.
Next to that in the corner is the Araku Ansaku GMK. This was a lottery figure.
Cool.
So you just basically apply to the lottery and just hope you kind of win. Don't know how many were in the run or anything like that. But I unfortunately did not win this one. So, but they're
probably
great.
get it off Yahoo Japan.
They are, but they're way more than what they should be.
Yeah, I know, but that's typically how most folks that don't win them get them
Yeah.
nowadays, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, these things are typically like $150 if you win them, but they go for double even more on the aftermarket. So,
Oh yeah, I know for sure.
So it's not fair, but oh well.
Literally.
All right, below that one is another Marusan. This is a brand new sculpt from them this year. This is the G2000. No actual like colorways yet, but they've had a couple blanks and then a couple glitters and stuff like that. So still kind of waiting for an actual like all painted one, but it looks great. It's a great sculpt and everything like that, and brand new. So I love seeing new stuff come out. So that's really nice of them. And obviously Marusan, they're always bringing out different colorways of their sculpts and everything. They just will never die. So right next to that is the one-up King Ghidorah. This is also new. This was I believe, Wonderfest exclusive. This is the newer actual colorway. They had their normal gold King Ghidorah, but this one's yellow with highlights of the blue and with like darker brown to it and stuff like that. Kind of makes it pop a little bit more and everything. And this is a 8-9 inch figure total. One ups are not typically that big. They usually go for like 6 inches and in that kind of range. So they're not like huge. But obviously this is King Ghidorah, so has the exception. So.
Sorry, but isn't but for some reason is this the same King Ghidorah that I've seen on one of the groups where somebody bought it on eBay or it was on eBay for like thousands of dollars or something?
No, that is
No.
not. That is the Pilot Ace.
Oh, okay.
That's Pilot Ace.
Damn, is this the one? Like
No.
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 God,
Is
no.
somebody scratching their microphone? What am I hearing?
I don't know.
It's quiet now, but I keep
Crazy.
hearing like thud. Never mind.
All right. Next to that is the actual one-up Burning Godzilla that we just got out this year. Also, one thing about one-up is that with their releases, they also include these little pieces that go with them. And actually, with this Burning Godzilla that came out, they had a Godzilla Junior with it and a little aggregate Destroya come with them. Just really great that they have those little extras. And also, then they brought out a colored version, like the normal painted Burning Godzilla, but then they had the Godzilla Junior and a Super X3 with it. So it's kind of like a Parababy mixed in with like Pilot Ace, where they have these little extras that kind of come with their figures and stuff, which is really great. Kind of gives you another incentive of buying these figures and stuff. But like I said, they typically go for about 6 inches in scale for their Godzillas. And what else do they have? Hedorah, Shin Godzilla, Godzilla 64, kind of stuff like that. Their big one is King Ghidorah, which is next to him. So, all right. Right next to him is, I think, a lot of people's favorites, and probably one of the more accessible ones was the Mondo, a trendy space Godzilla. Just words. I mean, words just can't describe how cool this thing is that we got this colorway and this sculpt. This sculpt is amazing. They really, really did a good job of this space Godzilla. It is just great. I think most of us in this group got one in some way, shape, or form, if it's a different colorway than a trendy or not. But yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then lastly, on the very left, is the Sharjurushi Shin Godzilla. I know Joe got these. He actually got this one and a blank version of them at G-Fest.
Cool.
And they're great. I think they're about 14 inches tall.
They big boys.
12 inches?
Those are big
I
boys.
remember, they're huge. They're big chunks of vinyl. And this is great. Like Sharjurushi does some excellent sculpts and everything, and this is their new one for this year and stuff. They do a bunch of different colorways. They haven't done a bunch of colorways for Shin yet, but obviously expect those in the future. So that is the Safubi.
Wow.
So many good things.
There's some good ones on here, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I have my answer. I can jump in first if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
My number one is the trendy Space Godzilla, just because of the nostalgia. I'm such a fan of Trendmasters and I was so happy to get that. Now I own the Sharjurushi Shin, and holding it up to the light, it is beautiful. But if I didn't have such an attachment to Trendmasters, by far, the T-Base GMK is gorgeous. I will be murdering Eric and his family if he does not sell it to me. Or I'm going to cough in an envelope. I'm going to cough in an envelope and send you COVID if you don't sell it to me.
Oh my god!
Oh god!
Oh god! It's like the new form of anthrax. Crap.
Yeah, literally.
Well,
Aaron, what do you think? What are you going with?
Oh, dude, I think you already know the Space Godzilla from Mondo. It just took my heart. I mean, I don't have this one. I am so sad I missed out on that, and the purple and green G-Store one. I found out about that one too late. But I did get the Cherry Blossom one, and it was pretty much I loved it so much. It was pretty much my gateway into Sofubi. After that, you already know I ordered the Attack Peter Mecha G. I got I ordered the Aztec Burning Godzilla.
Yep.
I got one of the U.S. Toys 1962 little blue Sofubi Godzillas.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that guy, I love that guy. And yeah, I gotta. It's all thanks to the Mondo Space Godzilla. It's just such a nice sculpt, no matter which colorway you get it in. And this, although the Cherry Blossom is my favorite, I understand why you chose the trendy to put on the list. Just because it's the significance of the design is unmatched, I think.
Yep.
So that's my pick for what's going to be the best one here.
Yep. All right, Oscar.
Well, I'm actually going with Joe and Aaron. I'm as much as I love the Spiral Toys Godzilla 2019, very beautiful piece now, and of course me being a MonsterVerse fan, I love it, and of course I can't wait to have mine. But the Mondo Space Godzilla, even if it's either this one, the Trendmasters variant, or the Super Godzilla paint scheme variant,
yeah,
I see everyone having this, and it makes me feel like, man, I want to get into the Mondo, but I'm not going to because I'm already now going to the Spiral Toys, but it's very amazing piece, and it's just like that's my pick actually. Very beautiful piece. It really stands out. As a chunky boy for sure, especially for Trendmasters. Like when I look at it, I'm like, damn, it looks exactly like the Trendmasters. Just the scope wise, but when you look at it, it's like, no, it's not. It's just a chunky, some FOTY figure, which is very beautiful. So that's my pick. The Mondo Space Godzilla, even though I want the Spiral Toys to win, but Mondo hands down for sure.
Nice. All right, Adrian, what do you got?
So y'all know my relationship with Sofubi.
No.
I don't have that many of them, but the second I saw the trendy Space Godzilla, yeah, I was sold. Especially since Space Godzilla for Trendmasters was one of the figures I never got as a kid. The fact I was able to pick this up is literally the next best thing, and he goes perfect with my Trendmasters Godzilla. So trendy Space Godzilla from Mondo, easy.
Mm-hmm.
But if that wasn't on here, then I would probably have to go with the Mall Sun 74 because I love that too, and I need to pick that up as well.
Nice. I have like a three-way tie, honestly. I obviously I have the T-base GMK. That thing is ridiculous. It is. Pictures don't do it justice, honestly. The Mondo Space Godzilla, I have that one also, and that's another nostalgic thing for me because I collected Trendmasters back in the day. Still have all of mine and everything, so that's really awesome. The sculpt is great. Their best sculpt so far from Mondo, hands down. And then yeah, I probably have to go with those two. Honestly, I was gonna go with another one, but I was like, you know what, those two are hard to beat, honestly, and those two are the ones that I have actually. Obviously the G74 too, but mine's a glow in the dark, so it's not that colorway. But yeah, those two for sure. All right, Samson.
Well, you said words can't describe, but you're doing a pretty damn good job at it with your words. And I think we are all, I think it's almost unanimous. The not having any of these, but still having the nostalgic love for the 90s, the Mondo Space Godzilla with that specific paint scheme, that's going to be hard to beat with as many 90s fans out there and Trendmasters fans and stuff like that in this fandom. And for that to be such a just like a nostalgic release.
Yeah,
it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to beat that one out of this list in particular. There's some cool ones, but that Space Godzilla stands out above all. I gotta say.
Yeah.
Even it doesn't even have to be Trendmasters. It could be the poster that people gravitate towards it for. They can like it for that reason.
Oh yeah.
So that one is. I think that one's pretty much on the nose. That's the winner. Did we all decide the same thing? Are we all like Booyah Space Godzilla?
Basically,
wow.
Space Godzilla's a choice.
Yeah, Space Godzilla might win by a landslide. This may be the only category that something may win just by a landslide, honestly.
yeah, I can agree with that.
Well, tie with the Mondo Space Godzilla. Who knows? They could be the GMK or the Spiral Toys or the Godzilla 60. 4, right? So, who knows?
Awesome. All right. On to our next one.
Best gigantic. Oh man,
Big Buggins.
I don't want to be
Big
the
Buggins.
All right, so this is me.
win this
This
one.
is JoJo.
So first off, I'm gonna go through these a little bit fast just because I'm really starting to fade here, guys. So
I'm sorry, dude.
no, don't be sorry. I'm just letting you know. First one is the Prime 1 2019 Mechagodzilla, where he's rising out of that hangar to fight the Skullcrawler. Really cool. And here's why we didn't put in the Mezco in the articulated, because he's so large. We kind of thought that maybe it would be better in the gigantic line as like a gigantic articulated. So
Makes sense.
yeah. So next, like I said, is the Mezco 1989. It's what is it, like 20 inches tall and like 35 inches long or something.
It says right there, 18 inches tall, 33 from tail to teeth to tail on the
Oh
picture.
yeah, movable jaw, light up mouth, dorsal fins light up, plastic eyes, etc., etc. Let's see. Next is the Way Studios Dragon Zord. This thing is amazing.
Wow.
It's held together by magnets. It's almost like a sideshow collectibles type thing. It is gorgeous. I'm so impressed by it. I love it.
Yeah.
To me, I honestly think that's the best gigantic this year. Next is the Prime Studios. I'm gonna do them both at the same time. The Godzilla vs. Kong fight from Hong Kong, from Godzilla vs. Kong, obviously. You put them together and the bases connect, and it's like a whole diorama of them fighting, which is amazing. It looks incredible. If you didn't have to buy 2 of them to make the diorama, I would have given it to that. But the fact that you had to buy 2 is why I went with Dragon Zord, if that makes sense. Let's see. Underneath Mechagodzilla is the X Plus Gigantic 2021 Kong, where he's like pounding his chest, getting ready to roar and charge into battle, which is pretty cool. And I guess what's that? Oh, sorry. I thought somebody said
I think
something.
that might have been an echo.
You haven't me that's weird.
Brother piece or companion piece to the Dragon Zord, also from Way Studios, is the Megazord, which is freaking awesome. And actually, there's some different attachments for both of these. The Dragon Zord has a different attachment where the rockets are actually firing off and there's smoke. The Megazord has it where the sword is raised in the air and he's going to be like striking, which is really, really cool. So, yeah. Next is the Spiral Studios Legacy series, the Godzilla 2001. I have that great figure. I'm impressed by it. It's big. I have some nitpicks. I don't think that it's perfect, so that's why I didn't give it. I know a lot of people are high on it, and I like a lot of it, but the things I have a problem with held it back, in my opinion.
You even revised that thing a couple times, right?
What's that?
The studio even revised the sculpt a couple times on it.
Yeah, they made it a little bigger. And Eric would probably know more than I would.
Yeah, they redid his head, did his spines.
Because people complained about the size of his head for a couple reasons.
Yeah. I wish people would have complained about the size of the tail before we got it. So next is the Spiral Studio Burning Godzilla with Mothra Evolution or Mothra Burst, whatever you want to call it. Amazing figure. I have this. I have the one with the wings. I know, Eric, you do too. I love this. I think it's fantastic. The reason why I am not giving this the number 1 spot is because with the lights off, it's not that impressive. Well, it is impressive. It just, you need to have the lights on, you know? So I went with something that just visually, you didn't have to kind of turn on. Yes, there are lineup features in the Way Studios Dragon Zord. However, if you just saw it, you didn't have to walk over, flip a switch, or anything like that. So that's why I did it. That's just my opinion. But I love the Spiral Burning Godzilla. Next is the XM Studios Shin Godzilla Bust. I like it. It's really cool. Shin isn't my favorite design, so it is what it is to me. It looks great though. I don't have it. I don't know if any of you guys do and can say a little bit more, but it looks great. But if not, moving on. Last but not least is the Super 7 Shogun Mecha Godzilla. I mean, what else to say? It's based on the Shogun Warriors Mecha Godzilla, and it's fires rockets, and it's articulated, and it's big, and it's cool. So Eddie, was it Ruin? He said he has the XM. Oh, he has the GMK bust, and it's incredible.
Okay, one, yeah.
GMK. Oh, okay.
So, so like I said, my number one is the Dragon Zord. Number two is probably the Megazord, and then Burning.
Amazing.
But like I said, honestly, if the Godzilla and Kong diorama came together where like you have to buy them separately, hands down, that is it. That's so fucking cool. With the city and the lights and Kong jumping. I mean,
isn't that like a good grand a piece for those things?
Yeah.
More than that.
More than a grand.
Probably like 5K.
100 a piece.
I think with the set together, it's like around I think I could be around 5,000 to get all together because it's huge piece all together. Like
good God damn almighty.
You're right, and that's before shipping, which is insane on its own.
Oh my God.
So that's my choice. I don't know. Anybody, Aaron, you want to go? What yours is?
Yeah, all of them I think are great choices to put on this list. My favorite overall has to be the the Spiral Burning Godzilla 2019. I have the standard one just because for me personally, I didn't want to pay which was essentially double the price just for the wings.
I get it.
Yeah. Although it would have been if it went for the price, I would have got that for sure. It's such an incredible addition. Plus the base too. I wish I got it just for the base.
Yeah.
But man, it is such an incredible piece. I do understand the nitpick with it. You got to turn it on for it to be at its full potential. But for me, I don't mind that because it's kind of like a Christmas tree, where of course it looks worse without the lights off, but that's not the point to me, So that's why I'm putting it at the top space. Although I do understand why you would think that just because a lot of people share that sentiment. Like it should be just as good with the lights off, but that doesn't bother me. I love it so much. A close second would have been
that's my issue is that you don't see any of the detail with the lights off.
Yeah, which would have been cool, but I don't know if there is a Burning 2019 that even comes close to it, even with like going the painted route. Like the X Plus to me kind of is just not really
trash.
Yeah, it's like Oscar.
Some brutal motherfuckers. Jesus.
They were really honest.
I'm wrong on there, Aaron. You guys, looking at the Spiral Studios compared to the X Plus, I mean, it's no competition at all. But I feel like if like say, like for example, the one have it's translucent. Like I feel like there should be something that really should make it pop without the light up, without having the lights, unless you have your LED lights or whatever, your strip lights, around it, and you could just have those lights on, and just for now until like say you come home from work and you turn on the actual lights from the base, like it's pretty damn cool,
Yep.
Eric, that thing behind you, does that thing light up? Is it turned on right now? I can't tell. You have lights all over your room, man. It's kind of hard to tell.
It's lit up something.
All right. Where did the lights come from? Underneath? Like it's built into the base of the thing and it lights up like straight?
No, so the connector is in the base, but the actual figure, the Godzilla, actually has lights in him.
It's just lights throughout.
And then the
good.
wings have their own light ups where you actually have to take them off and turn it on and then put it back on.
Yeah.
Oh, now I see the controversy because I was about to call you out. Like I was like, well, why do the wings look kind of bland right now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing looks ridiculous. And I looking at what we have on the list right here, that is the most dynamic fucking thing I've ever seen. I think it's really cool. That nitpick about taking the wings off to light them up, that is kind of a pain and kind of a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
So I'll give it to that, but I think more people bought that Legacy GMK Godzilla.
Yeah.
I saw lots of pictures of that throughout the year. Or when
It was a lot cheaper too.
Upon its release, I mean, yeah, that definitely paves the way for that thing.
Yeah.
So although I will say what you have right above you, behind you, is cool, I'm gonna go with the Legacy GMK Godzilla because it was hyped for a while and it got delayed, and then when it finally got released, a lot of people got it.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of love for it. So I'm gonna give it to that personally, and also because a lot of people like GMK, me included. I would have bought it if I had fucking enough money for it.
I also, yeah, I mean, I can agree with that too because I also bought it and I also think it's a great figure, but I agree with Joe where there's just a few things that bring it down a few points, and that's all that takes to make it not the top contender.
I think we were going to discuss that. So Joe said the tail. Is that what you were?
The tail looks like it's for a different scale figure.
Yeah,
it looks like let's say, what is the GMK? Is it 50 centimeters, Eric?
52.
52. It honestly the tail looks like it's for like a 40 centimeter figure.
So
it's just
like
it's too thin, and everybody defending it is like, oh no, Godzilla's tail wasn't long. No one's talking about the fucking length of the tail. Everyone's talking about how all of a sudden it goes from this to this, like immediately. It looks like there's like a connector piece missing.
We're
And I'm sorry, but the fact of the matter is that when you're paying $700 or more for a figure, I'm expecting perfection or the closest possible thing to it. You know,
yeah, that is one thing.
Which is why, like, you know, I'm not going to go easy on these things just because it's popular or whatever. And the fact of the matter is, if I spent $5,000 on the Godzilla and Kong diorama, and I got it, and there was a single thing that I didn't like, it's not worth it. I just spent $5,000 on it.
Yeah, you bought a fucking used
same
car.
thing with a $700 figure, which is really honestly probably like $1,000 after shipping.
Yeah.
Because for some reason shipping costs $300 fucking dollars. You know, like
yep.
Which
no wonder people
I don't know fucking how, but you know, so yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, but like for that amount of money, it should be. You know.
No. You have some justifiable bitching for sure, because that's if they upgraded the suit or the sculpt twice for the head and they didn't try to take into account other parts of it. That's a little.
And honestly, and I'm not trying to pick on Spiral. Spiral's just the only thing out of all of these that I own. So.
Yeah,
you know, like if I had the Mechagodzilla or the Dragon Zord or whatever, maybe I wouldn't be like, oh, they're cool. Maybe I'd be like, they fucking blow. I don't know. I don't have them.
Yeah.
Also, kind of the elephant in the room when it comes to the Spiral GMK. It's those eyes, which I personally don't mind them. I know they're going for a look at a certain point in the film, which is film accurate to that moment. But some people bring up a really good point where when they think GMK, they're not thinking of a specific point in the film. They're thinking the almost all white eyes, which, like I said, it's not a deal breaker for me. And I don't mind it when I look at it. But for a lot of people, that's probably why they wouldn't vote for this thing for number one.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of those pictures for sure. And you know what? The thing I have not seen a whole lot is actually the 2021 Mechagodzilla. I have not. I just like a handful of people that actually got the figure, but I have not yet seen like any other pics of it. Like if I were to see more of that,
That is true.
yeah, because I would actually see the Mechagodzilla and Spiral Studios being tied, just because the Mechagodzilla just has a badass base. It lights up. Yes, it's in a crunchy position, but it shows like it's in a specific pose where in the base it's in, it like rises up like in a motion, and I feel like if there were more pics of the Mechagodzilla, I would have actually had the Spiral Studios and Mechagodzilla tie because they really stand out. But since I haven't, all the other ones, they're cool and all, but of course my pick for again it would be the Burning Godzilla because yes, there are the gripes where you have to take out the wings, and plus you also have to be very careful with it with the wings, like how you connect it and plug it in, like. My goodness, but all in all, each of these figures are very, very beautifully made. But Joe, whenever I saw the Dragonzord and Megazord, I'm like, holy crap! I haven't seen pictures at all of them, none. And I'm like, now I'm curious to know more about it, especially the Dragonzord, of course.
I can see Adrian. He's
I was
itching.
saying, let's let Adrian go because
yeah.
I think he has his pick.
Yeah.
Well, if it'll stop disappearing.
I understand the gripes
Yeah,
and the imperfections and everything that you can say wrong with this thing. I absolutely get it. I understand it. I honestly agree with most of it too. But I absolutely love this bastard. This is my baby. And he's going to be my pick for Best Gigantic.
Wow.
Adrian loves his figure.
I know.
I do. I really, really do. Ooh.
Eric?
So yeah, there's a couple honestly, and I agree with Joe, especially like the Prime One, like diorama, like that.
Yeah, that is really
that's
cool.
a centerpiece piece, dude. Like that's amazing, but for the price, it's just not worth it, honestly. But I love everything about that. I have the Spiral Studios Burning Godzilla. It's amazing. I love it, but I agree. Like without the light up, it's just burnt chicken.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
but that light up does everything for it. It really does. That's the best light up. I will say that it's the best light up that's been out and released ever. Honestly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The size and just how bright it is, like it's great, and it does show the details and stuff when it's lit up and everything. So, it has that going for it. It really does. The GMK Spiral, I love it too, but in my review, I had nitpicks about the painting and the eyes and the size of the tail, just like Joe. Like, there's just some of those things that just have to be corrected, if we're paying that much money for them and stuff. Now, the kicker and the real surprise was when Joe told me about this Dragonzord and Megazord shit. Like, that Dragonzord, like, I dropped my jaw on that one because I was like, I had no idea it even existed.
Yeah.
It's already been released and everything. It's in stock. And I was like, wait, what? And I'm a big Green Ranger fan, Dragonzord fan. Like, that was my, like, Godzilla for Power Rangers and stuff. So that thing looks amazing. Amazing. But it's a statue. So, of course, the price tag is like $2,000 or more.
Astronomical.
Yeah.
I think it's 2,200.
Yeah, so like it's up there, so like it sucks, but like man, that thing is just amazing. Everything else here is great. It's just kind of not my cup of tea. I mean, those Mechagodzilla, I'm for one, I don't like the pose. For another, I'm not a fan of that.
It is a little weird, yeah.
Yeah, I want something more dynamic for my pose and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Or like
It makes sense for the scene, but it doesn't make
For the
sense for
scene,
like being
yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
we
it
want
just-
something dynamic and
it's
battle
boring.
ready, and that's
It's boring.
it. Just why did they land on that out of all the
Yeah.
poses they could have landed on?
that is true. Like, I was curious too, but I mean, it's still a cool pose and all. But yeah, it's like out of all of them, like the base, like they should have had it where Mechagodzilla was roaring up, like
Or something. Yeah.
Mm.
Or at the very least, had the thing.
Like when he first appears,
Yeah. Like, man, but all in all, each of these pieces are yes, some of them have their ups, some have their downs, but like they're really all in all amazing pieces.
Yeah.
We all have our own
Yeah.
company. One of us could like
Even-
the best, or there's the gigantic. Kong. we barely even talk about, but still a cool piece that we have something other than Godzilla in the Gigantic series line as well. But yeah,
Now that Aaron brought his out, I want to change my vote to the Burning Godzilla because that tail does bother me.
Yeah, I wanted to show.
No, I
But
can.
I can agree with that too. But for me personally, it's not a deal breaker. But but I can understand why people. It's like the eyes. I don't know if you can see.
What the hell are y'all laughing at?
All right,
Nothing.
did everybody vote?
I believe so.
I do have one more thing to say though on this category.
Of course you do.
I think I don't know why. I just have a gut feeling. For some reason, the Mezco is going to try and it might pull this out because of how much gripe people have with some of the other releases, as well as like I said, with all the other releases, the Mezco might sneak in there and take the win. I would be pissed, but surprise me.
Yeah, you never know.
Has been like in the works for like what 3 years almost. Like that's,
Yep.
Oh, it was delayed like a million times. So.
Yeah.
A million. Yeah.
Well, like it's crazy.
I can see that happening because it's pretty much exactly like the prototypes, and which is crazy for any figure.
What the fuck are
and
y'all
it's
laughing
such
at?
What? I have no idea what anyone's talking about. But anyway, yeah, it's a great. I mean, the features are just cool as hell. The lights, the sounds. I'm a big sucker for that stuff. Kind of wish if I didn't already have the X Plus Gigantic 89 light up, I probably would have went for that because it's half the price and just as big. And I don't know. We'll see. That could totally happen.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. On to our next one.
Is this me too, Eric?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm filling in for who am I filling in for?
Celeste.
Celeste. All right. I won't talk shit about Celeste. I like Celeste. Michael's still a baby back bitch for calling off, but I understand.
And Elijah.
So this
Him and his
category
job.
is going to be about what company you thought knocked it out of the park for the year with all their releases in general.
Wow.
Which one of their which one of the companies had the most releases you were excited about or that you purchased, etc. So I'm going to go through them real quick. There's no point in lollygagging on them because we've already talked about all of them. So there's Spiral Studios, there's Prime One Studio, there's Band Presto, there's Bandai, there's X Plus, One Up, Playmates, Neo Player One, Monster Maker 28, Mondo, SH Monster Arts, Haya, Marusan, and Super 7.
Wow.
Did I miss any?
Okay.
The little red.
Yeah, what's that little one
guy?
next to Mondo?
That's Shar Jarushi.
Oh, Shar Jarusi.
God bless you. Yeah, whatever that is.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'd agree, Leslie. I don't think the Mezco. I don't think it was personally. I don't think it was fair to put the Mezco in the gigantic category. I think it probably should have went in the articulated category or whatever. But anyway,
either or, it wouldn't have been unfair, honestly.
Yeah. So, I don't know which one is. I think the best one this year. I'm gonna go with Mondo.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's a hot take.
Ooh.
Aaron.
Oh,
oh boy,
dude, I don't know. I've never even thought about this.
Yeah, this is also a new category that we brought up this year, along with the model kits. Just because, I mean, it's been a booming year for these companies for making Godzilla stuff, so we need to put it in here just to see who we thought did the best this year.
Best of draining on wallets.
I am gonna have to go with Spiral just because. Just because I love their releases this year. And I know King Ghidorah was last year. Or no, it was a couple years ago, I think. But I also finally received mine this year. So I got 3 Spiral products this year. And I'm absolutely blown away by all of them. So I gotta go with them.
Oscar?
Well, Well, believe it or not, I got my top 10 companies from not too long ago, and everybody saw it. I was like, holy crap! Like, oh hell yeah, I like this category for sure. And I would for sure go with High Toys, but Power Studios, we have the Burning Godzilla. There's GMK, there's Behemoth, and the Mudos. Like, they really killed it for sure. For this year. And of course, I unfortunately do not have any of them right now. I'm still waiting for my 2019 Atomic Heat Ray Godzilla. Can't wait for that in another 2 more months. Like, gosh, but yeah, Spiral Studio for sure really knocked it out of the park. I would for sure, Higher Toys right after, and Mondo. Those 3 for sure, I would say, really took over.
Yeah, agreed.
Adrian.
I'm gonna have to say Spiral Studios. Hire's right behind it, but I'm gonna go with Spiral Studios.
All right. Samson West.
Gonna be a little biased here. We even discussed it in the chat. Bandai had some bangers, and they did so many. Yeah, I know. I'm done. I was wrapping it up.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Samson. I'm kidding.
No, Bandai produced a lot, and they gave us a lot of stuff we've never seen any sculpts of before. So it was very interesting,
Sure.
and I truly believe that they knocked it out of the park as far as releases this year. Although you said I will also agree with Mondo. Mondo was very strong this year as well, Joe. But
It was.
Yeah. And I honestly, I agree with you on the Bandai thing, giving us all these things that we had never, Ibra and Baggin,
the cats.
Yeah.
And there were a few that did -1 other than the Band Presto and SH Monster Arts. So
Right.
they're another category. They're the only one that gave us the Odo Island Godzilla.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Easy.
Yeah, it's a tie between X Plus and Mondo. X Plus had some great figures. Obviously, it's my figure of the year is from X Plus, so I kind of have to go with that. But Mondo killed it with their Safubi, with their other stuff, with their records, just all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's right.
It's great. Like, they've been really doing a great job with their stuff. But yeah, it's kind of a tie. But I'm kind of leaning towards X Plus right now. So.
All right.
Yeah. All right, the very last one, the one that everyone's really wanting to know.
Who do we
Let the
believe?
games begin.
Oh man. Oh, and also before I'm sorry, but who came up with the best companies idea?
Me.
It was me.
Liar. It was both of us, Eric. We'll try to take all the credit, you bastard.
It was me.
And also, there were
It was me.
there were no Death Reels, not even barely any Death Reels that came out this year, right? I mean,
Yeah.
No.
okay, I was
Yeah, not really. There was the gigantic 54 train bar there, which I almost included, but then
and then there's the Tokyo SOS that came out, and that's I think right now, man, I'm surprised.
So for overall, are we supposed to choose between just these or what we believe, in general?
No, this is the list for overall figure of the year. The X Plus Aggregate and Final Form Destroyer, the Bandai Baggin,
We
the
can see
FSO
him.
1974 Mega Godzilla and Godzilla, the Bandai Gamma Rebirth, the Spiral Studios 2019 Burning Godzilla, the X Plus Gigantic 2021 Kong, the Mesco Godzilla 1989, the SH Monster Arts 1972 Gigan, the Mondo Space Godzilla, Trendy Space Godzilla, Spiral Studios GMK, the Omega Beast Gamma, and the Ready Player One Burning Godzilla.
Okay, wow, man, oh man.
Who the fuck told you could put Rebirth Gamma as the Bandai pick? I didn't tell you that.
It's
Yeah,
Adrian's pick. It's
Yeah,
Adrian's pick. It's Adrian's
pick.
category.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so many wonderful pieces, man.
Take that shit down. I don't believe in that.
I'm just saying, it's his category, so blame him.
Mm.
And of course, the 12,000 Degree Super 7 Burning Godzilla.
Yes.
Now, of course, as y'all know, y'all know I'm going with GMK. But honestly, I can honestly see
course.
GMK, the Final Form Destroyer, and Burning Godzilla going to the end. I think it's gonna be a really. I'm. Last year was a freaking landslide with Emperor. Y'all Godzilla and Emperor. That was ridiculous. I
Yeah.
want to see that again. I want to
Oh,
see
yeah.
some competition. I want to see this be close and go to the wire. And the last day, I have to be pissed off because someone didn't vote for one figure or the other. But I think it's gonna be this year for overall figure of the year is gonna be a three. It's gonna be a great race. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, it is so much more of a competition this year because last year
It
I
is.
feel like with the
Absolutely.
Ebura statue, that was pretty. The voting was just a formality. We all knew that was going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
This
wasn't as
time-
many dynamic and radical looking things like that to compete
Oh, yeah.
against it. So it was, yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely, and I think almost in every category, it's a lot more competitive this year than it was last year.
Man, oh man. And
I'm going to say neck to neck between the Burning and the Destroyer. That's going to be where it boils
I think that's
down
me
to,
too.
between
you know,
those two in particular. But Spiral, GMK, sure, he might be able to, but with as many people complaining about certain aspects of it, yeah.
I was, as for me, I feel like I'm just gonna like say the top three. I for sure number one Spiral Studios, right behind Destroyer, and the third one I just want to put it number three because I love the. I really am still amazed by it. I want to put Bandai Movie Monster Series bag right at number three. Even though it probably won't be in top three at all, but I'm still gonna give it some love for sure. Like it blew me out of the water for sure.
Yeah. Aaron, what do you think?
Yeah, I gotta agree with Samson. I'm doing Destroyer and the Burning 2019 because they're not just the best in their respective categories. They're just, to me, they're just the best overall this year. I don't know which one people are gonna go for more because
That's
while
what
I
I'm for.
do
That's-
think, yeah, it's like because while I do think the Burning 2019, like Eric said, is pretty much the best lineup ever made. I feel like more people will have gotten the Destroyer just because the Burning 2019 or Spiral products in general are a lot less accessible. I think just because of the high price point, especially this guy. He's like what, like 1,500 for the standard or something like that. I forgot how much I paid.
1,055, and then with this, the deluxe, I think around around close to 2,000, I think.
Yeah, they're pretty expensive. Whereas the Destroyer, he was like what, like 700 or something like that, 800 maybe. Yeah. So, I mean, still expensive, but a lot more accessible. Plus, a lot more mainstream being an X Plus figure. So we'll see. I don't know. Well, it can go either way, and who knows? Maybe it'll be the Mezco. I don't know.
Sure. I hope not. I'm sorry, but it better not be.
That'd be hilarious if the Mezco won.
I kind of want it to happen now, just to everyone, like, so everyone's pissed off. I don't know.
Or hey, Mecha finally won Figure of the Year. I mean, didn't get Figure of the Year for the Gigantic series for sure. Oh man,
Joe, what is your picks?
Mine is the Destroyer Final Form and the Destroyer Aggregate. It's 1, 2, and then number 3 would be the Spiral Burning. And the Spiral Burning, I believe, was 2,500.
I was going to say it too, Joe. I think it was like 25.
Because it ended up being like 31 or something with shipping.
Man,
yeah, crazy.
So, which is why that price tag worked against it. Which is why I'm like, if there's a figure that's literally a fourth of the price that I'm in the discussion about, I'm giving it to the figure that's a fourth of the price. Because if there's a figure that's a third of the price, if there's a figure that's $1,000 in the Final Form Destroyer and it's in the conversation with a figure that's 3 times as much in the Spiral Burning, I'm giving it to Destroyer. It should not be.
That is a good point.
That's a good point.
Yeah, there's not that many rich assholes out there that buy this stuff.
Yeah.
Rick James, bitch, make it rain.
Hell.
Yes, stroke your magnificent rich beard.
Adrian, did you go?
Yeah, I'm still going with GMK, but realistically, it's going to be a 3-way race between the Burning 2019 Destroyer and GMK. It's going to be a race to the end.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Leslie made a good point about why Ebro won last year.
No, don't even.
Now, remember, I didn't vote for
Because-
Ebro, okay?
Because it was the overall
So don't
best.
put that shit on me,
That's why
Leslie.
it won. Don't even. Don't even.
Oh my god.
It was the
Oh.
best, and you know it.
Don't put that shit on me, Leslie, okay?
There's two that I'm gonna be picking. It'll be the Spiral Burning Godzilla and the Perfect Form Destroyer. But the one that's gonna win is the Perfect Form Destroyer, and I'll tell you why. Because the Perfect Form Destroyer, everything about it in every single way is perfect. There's nitpicks that I have for the Spiral Burning that just it knocks it down. Like Joe said, like it should be perfect for what it is. But there's aspects about that just knock it down. To me, when I look at and talk about the Destroyer, there's nothing that I can actually say bad about this figure. I have it, and I absolutely love it.
It's not screen accurate.
Oh my
It
god.
doesn't. No, it. There's another conversation for the pose and everything, but I won't get into that and everything.
I
But
know.
like
You're-
the
it's
pose is actually
looking.
very
Okay.
cool because he looks mean, he looks aggressive, he's roaring in an aggressive stance and stuff like that. Like he's roaring at Godzilla.
It's
Like,
so dynamic.
I like that instead of the static upright pose of Destroyer what we got in the movie.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I'm fine with how he looks and everything. But like I said, like
He's just being an asshole. It's okay.
there's nothing wrong with this figure from the sculpt to the paint to the light up, which is yes, very little minor, but it works so well that it's perfect. It really is. It's just everything about it. And you know, the price, yeah, it's not the cheapest thing, but it's not the most expensive thing either. You know, and it's just everything about this is great. Like I am vying and I will be doing what I did yesterday, where I will be making posts about getting this thing to win this year because I think it's the best thing out there.
No.
And
You can't oil it up and make everybody believe that you're right. You got to let people decide for themselves. That's not fair.
No.
You're not right then.
Everybody always campaigns for figure of the year, Samson.
Yep.
Everybody
You gotta
always
campaign.
campaigns. And to a point about the pose, Eric, Leslie actually said something off air on his stream last week that made sense with the pose. He looks more animalistic
Yeah,
with this
Yes.
pose.
that is.
He
true.
does look more animalistic.
steel.
That's why he is so dynamic and he does look fucking incredible.
Well,
I mean, it was boring looking, kind of with the wings tucked in and everything. He was kind of just static and chunky, and he couldn't really. But
Exactly.
This is what he should look like if he was basically if they made him animated. If he wasn't a suit, then
Yeah.
so they're like
yes. All right,
actually.
I'm going with you guys.
Actually, Nathaniel actually touched on it. I wasn't going to, but this is a thing. So, the sculptor from Black Dragon Studios, he always puts his sculpts or whatever in sumo poses.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is. It's in a it's in a
Interesting.
sumo pose. And if you look at his GMK in his Ultima, in his Shin, they're all kind of more leg spread and everything with a more hunched over pose for them. It's because of this particular pose that he kind of goes for.
Okay.
So,
Something
I
different.
like it.
Cool. I like it.
so but yes, it does. It gives him such more of a dynamic and fierce look to him that like he's just like almost like Dragon Ball, where he's just like powering up and he's like, hey, like
Oh, yeah.
I'm roaring at Godzilla, let's go, like I'm gonna kill you kind of thing. Like, yeah, like he just wants that
Yeah.
action. So that's, I mean, it just works overall.
Can you imagine Destroyer actually running towards the film? Now that'd be terrifying. You know, like you think this big ass monster is slow and you know huge, you know, but all of a sudden you see a Destroyer hauling ass at burning Godzilla. That'd be terrifying, man.
It would. If he could fly properly, that'd be terrifying too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, that's
I
everything,
mean,
though.
man,
I
this,
cover everything. Are we DUN done?
man, this is something else.
Yeah, we're done.
I think that's it.
Wow.
That does it.
Nice.
All right,
So,
folks.
Oh, Eric,
Tomorrow, let the games begin.
you know, doing the slideshow and you know the pictures and all, you know, of course, you know, each and every one of us, you know, we've all done a great job, and of course, I like to thank
Absolutely.
you guys and Cody. I like to thank Cody, for letting me helping out on with figures under 50. It was a blast, and so
Yep, absolutely. Like, yeah, this is a collective effort. We all took the categories and everything. We all picked what we thought was the best picks and everything. Some of us couldn't be here, but like I said, they're
Like
here in spirit
Michael.
and stuff. So yeah, that's really it. Adrian, what else do you have, buddy?
Of course, make sure to join the Monsters of Attitude Collectors group on Facebook to put in your vote. Voting goes live at noon tomorrow.
So go vote. And if y'all don't vote for the figure y'all wanted, sorry.
Yep, can't complain.
Yep, that's the last disclaimer that we've got to put in here. Y'all can't bitch and moan about what wins if you don't fucking vote.
Yeah.
We ain't doing this. We ain't doing this bullshit when people start bitching and moaning about something winning because they didn't vote. Shut the fuck up and go vote.
Weeks.
Yes.
3 weeks. Yes, we have 3 weeks for voting. So
3
go
weeks.
vote.
3
20
weeks.
days.
Go vote. Yep.
As
Like I
of
said,
tomorrow, 20 days.
Yeah, January 27th will be our results show, so we'll go up into that, show probably the 26th or so.
Yeah, 25th, 26th voting will end.
Yeah, we'll tally it all up, and then we'll show the results. So yes, please go vote, share, tell everybody else, hey, come join the group, vote, whatever, do what you have to. Just join our group. It's fun, it's interactive. It's a great time. But yeah, it's going down starting tomorrow.
Oh, and please answer the questions when you join the group, because Eric already explained it earlier, but for people who just joined in, we like to have those questions just to make sure you're not a bot or something. So, or like a scammer or something. Yeah, so.
Or someone that just wants to be part of the group and just start shit,
Yep.
No reason.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
There's some people who don't like that. Right on.
All right. Guess that's all we got tonight, folks. And of course, always remember to embrace the attitude.
Embrace the attitude.
Attitude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Night, everyone.